Okay, Nebulous nerds, how are we all doing today? Actually loaded up into the middle of a match here that I've chosen to spectate. I wasn't sure if it would start in time, so I decided, hey, let's just do a little bit of casting here. So, we've got ANS versus OSP, 3,000 points on Tombstone. We casted a match like this with Darg. I think that was on last Sunday? I want to say Sunday, yeah. So, nice to see Tombstone's back in rotation again. It is a fairly fun map. Quite similar to Pillars in a lot of ways, but it has its own little sort of unique quirks. Namely, the midpoint is a little bit higher up, and there's no big plate on the bottom of the map to safely guard your underside protection for your various flanks and stuff like that. So, again, Pillars, kind of the standard Nebulous map. So, you'll see a lot of that in action, although we're going onto Tombstones today and going to see some various plays being made. You can see the fleets deploying here in their respective deploy circles. Of course, we can't see it in spectator mode currently, but take my word for it, there is a deploy circle limiting where you can and cannot drop. I believe it's the blue team as the OSP and orange as ANS, but we will see once we get into the match, and I'll introduce a couple of the players and their fleets, go over a little commentary. I just hopped into a public lobby. It's kind of taking my time to warm up and also finish my drink, kind of get myself all situated. A little rush getting the stream going today, but hey, that's nothing new. Anyways, ANS, OSP. Yes, so the two factions of the game are the ANS, the Alliance Navy, and the OSP, the Outlying Systems Protectorate. This is for the default game. There's a couple modded fleets and stuff you can get that have different factions, but the main story of the game takes place in the space as the OSP has begun their sort of revolution, sort of systems independence declaration, and the Alliance Navy is trying to sort of step in and keep things under control. It's an interesting sort of civil war. I'm not 100% of the lore, and it's also still subject to change, but we're gonna hop into the game any second now once they've finalized their deployments and readied up. I'm just waiting for them to decide where they want to put everything here. There's normally a timer ticking down once one team is ready, but they're just still deciding where they want to send everything. You see the various deploy locations set up here. There's the timer going off now. So once we get into the game, I'll introduce the players and their fleets, and we'll go over a little bit of that. And then after this match, I'll probably hop in for some first-person violence and that, so you can watch me poorly fleet command. And yeah, we'll go from there. I should be able to get in 2 or 3 matches today, I think, the amount of time I have. Wednesdays are a little bit compact to me, so I don't get to stream as long as other days, but you can see all the various fleets matching up to the respective sort of fleet prefixes here. So you see it's the OWO fleet from Team 2 here, ROM. I guess actually it's from this perspective, yeah. The OWO fleet ties into ROM there, so you'll see your prefix tagging in. It's kind of like having a gamer tag way back in Xbox 360 days, where you see the one person who's got the leet above their name, the other person who's got blue, BLU, or red, it's that kind of thing. So 10 seconds till we drop, give or take, and we're going to go from there, and yeah, take a big sip of water. I just love seeing the face tracking freak out at that. All right. Ooh, little triangle formation dropping in here. Let's see. Looks like a trio of bulk freighters, the sort of ship of the line for the Outlying Systems Protectorate. Although it's funny because they're in the Alliance's naval colors, so a little bit of a head scratcher, that one's is that one of our ships? It's painted like one of ours, sir. It's not one of ours. Anyways, let's go over the fleets and stuff real quick. So, over here from Dominique, we're seeing a light cruiser here with a bunch of guns and a little golf ball on the back, and interrupt jammer. Yep, so communications jamming device there. Also referred to in the community as the balls device, since it is a ball. Seeing, again, more cannons here with a bullseye fire control radar, so pretty standard light cruisers. Joined by a couple of tugs here. Looks like they've got blanket jammers, so just a little bit of electronic warfare support. Some scouts here with bullseye radars. So 2 offside scouts with a pinard, that way they can detect long-range stuff. Over here at Gnome Revolver, hell of a name, we've got a destroyer with a beam on the front and a interrupt jammer as well. Another one in the formation, stone walls, VLS beam cannons. Yep, so pretty standard destroyer affair here, just trying to bring that big spinal gun into play. Looks like they got a trifecta of them. Going to be paired up with, I think it's a pair of little corvettes here. Just a 250 and a bullseye on that. Okay. That's a VLS, so it's got some defenses. Yep, blanket, VLS. Okay, so that's just a little supporting pair there. Tweeta has a beam destroyer here, interrupt jammer. Double interrupt jammers. Interesting. Okay. And an extra antenna. Huh. It's a choice. Not sure I'd make that, but I mean, hey, constant jamming is good. Seeing another one here with double deception modules. Okay, that's weird. Deception modules makes your ship look like it's a different ship. This could show up on the enemy radar as a battleship, so that's a interesting thing to choose 2 of them. I'm just gonna assume that they don't know that you only need 1, but whatever. Pinards, guns on this thing, so pretty standard fare. Does have a blanket jammer, so a little support frigate there. We've got another That's a railgun. Okay, a little hard to see with the lighting, but yeah, got a railgun on this destroyer going about top of the map. Probably gonna provide some fire support. It has an intel center, which feeds intel to the team, so that's good. They're just capping their natural points right now as going to the fleet. And Wolfie just has, let me see, VLS-3. Yep, I think this is just going to be, just a big old grouping of torpedo corvettes, nasty little things to fight off these smaller ships in the game. So that's the ANS's side. Let's take a look what the OSP has. We're seeing a Ocello command cruiser here. Pretty standard fare. It's got the big 450mm guns, bit of point defense scattered across it, an illuminator on the back. I think that gets masked by the big tower here, so it's not a very good place to put that. But then again, it does work from the side, so some merit to it. Also has some missiles on the side there, size 3s, no less. Okay, so got some Ocellos. Ooh, railgun Ocello. Okay, so this is not something you see super often, but railgun Ocello can play a good long-range support role. We'll see how effective this thing ends up being throughout the game. Rail Ocellos are kind of notorious for being not the most effective, but they can put some nasty numbers out if you let them. See, just a pair of rocket shuttles here with some defense. Let's take a quick little look. So A point here is getting capped out by the OO fleet from ROM. Just a, let's see, 1, 2, 3 of these little, not Corvettes. I always get Corvette and shuttle mixed up. It's very stupid of me. But either way, they're just here with a little missile launcher that has technically 1 missile in it. This costs like 6 points, so I think this hull itself is just, yeah, this is like 80 points of your 3,000, so it's super cheap to just throw these onto the A point. That way you get that initial cap and force your enemy to take initiative to counter it. Anyways, we'll finish introducing the player fleets and stuff. Negative light coming in with 450 broadside guns here. Big old cannons here, the C-65s. Seeing 1, 2, 3 broadside bulk freighters. Okay, so they're just bringing all the long-range firepower. They don't have any sensors for long-range cover for that, so they're relying on their team to provide them locks and stuff. But when you get 3 bulk freighters worth of firepower pointed at someone, they are very strong. You see they've got the radar and comms off here, just trying to run silent and quiet. So you can see the A point has now gone into the OSP's hand. There's a torpedo out in the water, a 351 Happy Birthday, which is going right into a rock. Yep, so there you go. Unfortunately, probably just target fired it, and then the pathing just decided, hey, I'm going to lead the target, and smacked into the rock there. So there you go. Sounds like you're speaking cat nonsense. The game is confusing. Yes, Nebulous is a particular game. Anyways, finishing out the fleet introductions, we have a bulk freighter down here with MLSs. This is an Isekai truck. Yep. Isekai truck refers to a bulk freighter that is completely full of torpedoes, and this thing is going to be a bad day for anything that comes close to it. That is 16 torpedoes in a burst fire, and yeah, you don't want to be near that thing when it goes off. Anyways, got ourselves a plasma T-30 liner here, so a bunch of plasma combines with the 100 mils. 100 mils normally don't have the armor piercing to get through a lot of ship's armor, but plasma strips off armor, so it's a nice little combo there. Seeing 1 and 2 of those together, so they're looking to come around the corner and then try and probably burst anything in this sort of line here. Let's take a look. And then I guess the rest of the fleet, yep, just looking like, yeah, just a bunch of like cheap little naked shuttles. They've got a early warning radar tug, which is this blue cone of detection over here, spotting various ships about the battle space, and then just a bunch of little shuttles around the space. So that's what you see, and that is what you got. Let's take a look. So we're seeing the light cruiser pair kind of going around the outside here. This is a flank I like to do on tombstones as well with light cruisers. You try and play the outside of the map here, threaten the E point a little bit. You don't necessarily have to push. You can stand here and kind of be standoff distance and skirmish. It draws the enemy into a position here where your allies can then provide fire support from long range, or it gives them time to push onto the A point, kind of like doing a flank overload here. So nice little way to wrap around the map in kind of a NASCAR style. That's a term left over from my Mech Warrior days, where NASCAR basically means stacking the right side of the map and then turning left as you just kind of zoom around. Seeing the signature here, massively boosted by the Masquerade Deception, so these things are super big. I still don't know why they have 2 of them, but I think it's very funny, so yeah. We'll just go with that either way. See the early warning radar tug here. I don't know if the OSP has an intel center. An intel center is great because it analyzes all of the track data from your fleets and then combines them and shares that data across instead of just the localized like things for CIC. See now this is going to end poorly for this. Yeah, so we've got a blanket jammer trying to jam here, but it is masked. Seeing all the T-30 shots going in here now. These are firing 100 mil rounds, specifically grape shot, which is a canister round. And yeah, it's just, we're seeing the tear through this thing. You see the reactor has already been nuked. Yep, there goes the radar receiver. Cannon's going down. This ship is not long for the world. They're throwing plasma in just for good measure. I don't know if they are aware of what it is. They can probably tell at this point that it's a little corvette just by the way that it's moving and positioning itself. I'm kind kind of curious why it's going backwards into battle. I assume that's just to like try and drive tank, which is to use the drive. Yeah, it's a reinforced drive, so there's a lot of health on that thing that takes a while to knock out. But yeah, huge buckets of firepower here. Now firing high explosive in the green. This thing is going to cook off any second now. So yeah, unfortunately, does not get the cap. They tried, and unfortunately they failed. So initiative does fall into the ANS's hands to try and get back the point. You see they had another little Corvette here that was thinking about going in there, but after seeing his buddy get absolutely slammed by incoming fire, he's decided to not do that, instead trying to find another path around. See some jamming going down from one of the destroyers here. Yeah. Unfortunately, Destroyer did not quite have the line it wants here, because this is a beam destroyer. If you get within 6 kilometers of a beam destroyer, you're in for a bad time. It's trying to get a line on this bulk freighter that I believe, yep, the bulk freighter sees it coming, probably from, I'm actually not sure how they got radar coverage on it, but they see it coming and they're going to unleash some firepower, some of it going into the rock, other bits going wide. Looks like they've got a bad track quality that just corrected itself now. We see a whole bunch of fire coming in. Yep, ouch, 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 ouch. As the plasma and T-30s just start ripping into this thing. Unfortunately, there goes the beam turret. They can restore it, as they have a couple lockers around the ship. See 2 reinforced and maybe a third somewhere that I don't see. Yeah, 3 reinforced lockers, so they can bring it back up. Yeah, Beamstone peeked its head out, and it got heavily punished for it, as more shots just rip into it now, and it's trying to dive for cover. Take a look around the rest of the map. So we're seeing the big mass of torpedo corvettes heading in now. A couple of them have Mark 61 guns, so just a little 120 mil gun. It's kind of fun saying 120 mil gun is small. Oop, we're seeing some torpedoes on the other side here as these light cruisers just giving it their all. Torps out in the water. That's an interesting name for a torp. Looks like a pair of eyes. Anyways, you're seeing the pair of CLs here popping all the chaff they can to try and seduce the enemy radar locks and stuff, but they appear to just be flying off into, yep, they're going after the active decoys, so possible these are radar seeker types and they've just shut off their radars. No, looks like they're still on. Okay. Wait, is it? Hang on. Ah, okay, yeah, they did turn off their radars briefly there to seduce the ARAD seeker type onto the active decoy and chaff. These are a lot of terms for the average viewer, but just take my word for it when I say they did the right thing there, and it looks like no torps hit there, so yep, a good deflection from the torpedoes. I think launched from the, was it launched from the torp ship? Well, it's taking something. Ooh, there's a reactor det. Okay, so unfortunately, this does happen sometimes when your reactor cooks off. You just get a big old explosion in the middle of the map. Seeing the torps out in the water on this side. A lot of torpedoes this game. The big swarm here is facing the wrath of a whole bunch of 100 mil rounds. So these are good for countering ships here. But oh my god, look at the torpedoes. All of these have decoys. Here we go. Just torps out in the water going after the radio yay. Just clonk clonk instantly, 2 guns knocked out. Ooh, this damage control board. Yep, just bonk 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 bonk. Whole bunch of things as the Christmas tree lights up. Just every system turning itself gray or red. Gray is proper knocked out and you need to burn restores to actually bring that back online. Seeing more torpedoes now out in the water. Second salvo, time on target. Here we go. A bunch of them are hitting into the rock. Rock best PD after all. It's the ship desperately firing its thrusters, trying to get out of the way. They do not have enough point defense to shoot down all these decoys and torps. So yeah, that's just like a massive blow to the OSP side here. I think that each of these liners probably comes in at about 1,000 points, give or take. And we're just seeing heavy damage. Not as bad as the other one. Still many systems on fire and taking heavy cripple. But yeah, there is more torpedoes here, I'm certain. Let me see. VLS launcher. Yep, still a couple torps left in the water. They're deciding to get the hell out of Dodge. Or maybe they're going for another fire. We will see. Whole bunch of return fire for their trouble here. What team are you cheering for? I am indifferent. I'm just trying to see who wins here. I kind of play both factions, and I just decide, you know, hey, let's see what happens here. So the 450 from these bulk freighters here firing as they're in this kind of formation here, maybe masking each other a little bit, but 450, unfortunately, not effective against ships this small. The rounds are just too big, and they massively overpenetrate the target or just completely miss. So 450, very good against big targets like, you know, capital ships, like heavy cruisers and battleships and such. But against a mass of torpedo corvettes like this, they just don't, unfortunately, have the ability to kill them. Seeing more torps out in the water going away here now, carving them through the rock. Probably going to bank around this corner, heading towards the CLs, if I had to guess. Let's see. Yep. Torps out. Time on target. There's an Aurora point defense laser firing off from above on that little... cheeky indeed. Yeah. Trying to burn down some of these torps. Here they come. Coming around here. Decoys launched. Chaff as well. They are looking for their target. And yep, all of them seduced again by soft kill. Very good play by the CL player here, doing the correct way of soft killing, which is... well, to just pop a bunch of chaff, inactive decoy, and just everything else. Ooh, unfortunately, one torp does bank around and hits the drive on this thing. It does not knock it out, fortunately, not managing to break the threshold, but the reactor does go down. So this thing does... it does have restores, at the very least. Where does it have? It's got a large locker. Okay, so they can bring some stuff back online, but that will take them a hot minute. Anyways, taking a look around the battle space, A point is being capped by the ANS now that they've managed to throw another Corvette into it. The two bulk freighters that were keeping the ANS off the point had been heavily torped, so this was their chance to seize initiative. Let's see if they can get the cap at the last second. Seeing some fire flying in now at these bulk freighters here. From these bulk freighters, rather, at this destroyer. This destroyer, again, beam turret heavily crippled there. Ooh, there's a beam. The peaky chunk getting a little bit of love, just kind of walking the beam across it. Top radar panel is knocked out, and the drive has taken some damage, but the ship is still in the game. Fortunately, the beam kind of did a carving move as it just whizzed right by. See now some 450 flying towards the disabled destroyer here. Yeah. That's unfortunate. Yep, drive is out, so this thing is not going anywhere. Immobilized target is a dead target in the battle space, and just bam, 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 bam. Yeah, it is flat out of the game now. Just that huge salvo of 450 HE tearing apart the target. Seeing some plasma now coming to the side here. Destroyers don't have the most armor, but slanted like this, they can provide some protection. They're trying to fire on the little shuttle here, but okay, now they're actually getting some hits. Sometimes beam gunners are a little bit alcoholic, and their shots like to go off into the void of space and carve into rocks and stuff. So they do trade a destroyer for a shuttle, which is not really worth it. This shuttle probably coming in at about like 80 points or so versus the destroyer, I would guess probably in the range of like 500 to 700, give or take, just given the packages got deployed on it. Anyways, seeing this destroyer now diving back into cover as they continue wasting shots on the already destroyed one. Luckily, though, the reactor and drive are down on this. Ooh, there is actually a reactor left, so this could get set off and detonate. We will see. Yep, there's the beam firing once again. I don't think they've realized that this ship is dead, but still, ANS has taken the 3 points. OSP in the orange trunks ahead a little bit with the 2 cap. Now, just ANS is going to catch up in the blue trunks, but OSP has about 100 points on them, so they're going to have to close that distance. Game is to 1,000 points, so we're seeing the top of the map fairly quiet up here. We've got a rail destroyer, yep, just trying to turn onto target. I'm not sure if it can actually see anything at this range. Yeah, so OSP has pretty good radar coverage with the early morning radar here, although I think they need to adjust where it's pointed right now because it's not really spotting anything. I don't think... Okay, this destroyer is barely at the edge of that radar cone. Around the outside of the map, you're seeing those torpedo corvettes flank around now, finding themselves a shuttle for their trouble. Little gun shuttle here, unfortunately not long for this world. Yep, just a basic CIC, so that thing's going to go down any second now from this RPF. Seeing some more torps out in the water. Where are they flying? Torps going out after one of these offside ships here. See, this is... don't believe they have any point defense to counter that. Nope, there's the torps. And let's see it. Let's turn it off. Come on, and... bonk. Right in the drive section. Ooh, that's interesting. Huh. Got hit in the drive, and then all the other torps just suddenly... Interesting. I'm not entirely certain why it did that. Oh, those must be command guided, and it got hit by a torpedo, which caused the blanket jammer to respond. Or maybe the fire order was just issued. Either way, we're seeing some of the torpedoes now finding targets, some of them unfortunately missing. There's another good hit into this thing, and clonk. The ship is technically still in the game. They can restore the drive and bring it back operational. You need a source of power, be it a drive or reactor, to be in the game, and a working command center. Seeing the magical golf ball over here providing jamming against any possible torpedo threat that has command seeker. Oh, here comes that Isuka. No, this is the... there's so many bulkers in this game. There's like 6 of them I have to keep track of. Anyways, from ROM over here, we've got this T-30 plasma bulker trying to move its way into the A point. Some missiles out here for their trouble. I think those were... Was that a random torpedo just for good measure against this thing? I believe so. So that ship, again, knocked out of action. I don't think that it was actually capping. I think that was already dead, so interesting. But a couple dead ships littering the middle around the A point. A point now securely in the ANS hands as OSP has not been able to retake it. The little torpedo corvettes that could going around the map trying to clean up what they can. They find the early warning radar tug, putting some RPF rounds into it, trying to chase it down. I wouldn't be surprised if they throw like a torpedo or 2 at this just to clean that up very fast. Let's take a look around the map at what else is happening. We see, here's the Isekai truck. I'm not sure how many shots this thing has left. Let me see. Those are a lot of names. Okay, so it's still got plenty of torps left in the bank for it to fire, although it will have to find a good avenue. If they have command seeker and are trying to fire on this, they're going to have a problem. Kill them? Yeah, indeed. Good call with that. So we're just watching now as these CLs trying to find themselves a way that they can attack this torps liner here, but unfortunately, the torp liner just not having a lot of luck trying to hit the CL. CLs have very good soft kill with the setup they've got right now with a chaff box on the back and a golf ball jammer. So pretty much everything they can counter in terms of torps. Wondering where these torps are going. I think they're headed off after Are they going for... Oh, yeah, so Torp's time on target in the water. This little thing here, little frigate here, just getting absolutely clobbered by Grape Shot. I don't think they realize this is a frigate. Maybe they do, because they are firing Grape, but still, that's a lot of torpedoes to kill a little frigate. There is the investment of, like, your points cost versus, like, the tactical deniability you can get for the enemy. Like, it's an opportunity cost is the best term for it, I think. Yeah, we're just seeing a whole bunch of opportunity cost here as a bunch of torps go out in the water, smacking into this thing's reactor. Reactor going to cook off in a few minutes or so. Just bam, 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 bam. It is out of the game, so I'm not sure if that was worth it. But, I mean, if you got them, send them, right? There's plenty of torps left in that Isekai truck. Let's take a look around the map. So ANS now securing the D point here as they put their corvettes onto a big old flank and are now trying to jam the fleet down here. See the 450s trying to line up against the corvettes, but again, 450 versus corvette is not a favorable fight. I think over penetration shots only deal like 20% of their damage. How long does each game approximately take? Generally speaking, a Neb match can last between, like, I don't know, 30 to 45 minutes. Sometimes it's decided very fast, and sometimes it takes a little while longer. There's a sort of, like, soft cap, because, like, it's to 1,000 points, and as long as somebody's capping... Ooh, there's a beam across the battle space carving into this thing. Nice little cook-off there into the central sort of pancake stack of components there. Let's see, we got more torps in the water going time on target against this little offside here. Yeah, this thing was already toasted pretty well before from the first volley. We're going to just see what happens when these torps hit. Ready... and wham! Yep, just everything's spinning there as it's shaken apart. That is a dead frigate indeed. So, Tuita unfortunately left with only a single frigate here, and I believe one rail destroyer at the top of the map providing intelligence to their team. Still, Anna securely pulling ahead now as they've closed the gap by about 20 points now. They'll overtake them shortly as the OSP team has only one cap. They are desperately trying to hold on to the E point, but they need to take the initiative and start pushing somewhere. In terms of actual, like, frontline firepower, the ANS did not have very much in the way of capital ships. The heaviest ship they have is a light cruiser, so instead they're just relying on that high mobility that they've got with their very fast vessels such as the corvettes and light cruisers to try and get nasty flanks done. Still, if the OSP is to commit a bunch of their tonnage, then they will be able to overwhelm certain areas. But, ooh, a bunch of size 1 missiles going off here. I believe those are size 1 defensives trying to intercept. Maybe not. Kind of hard to say, actually. A bunch of chaff goes off there. Missed a bit of that. I was talking about the torpedoes, but CLs hanging out on this flank. They are being a persistent threat to the E point. If the 450 bulkers are able to turn and fire onto the CLs, that will be the pretty much only good target for them in this game. They were able to get a couple shots on a destroyer, but mostly destroyers are going to lurk inside the kind of like alcoves of rocks, just trying to hide until they get that nice little 5 to 6 kilometer surprise range. You're seeing them now trying to turn, although... yeah, it looks like they're going to have to go the slow way. You can roll your bulk freighters over, but it's a little bit of a pain in the ass to micro that some days. So, you're seeing the CLs now pushing forwards. They've spotted their prey in the water and are just pushing as fast as they can to get in close brawling range with these things, trying to make it so that they can just run circles around them and keep them constantly turning. That said, for their trouble, they are going to eat some shots from the flank here, as that pair of Ocellos has now seen the CLs as well. CLs might have to... yeah, they can drift into the cover here and then get onto those bulk freighters. ANS is pretty secured to win this game at this point if nothing changes. That said, there is a nasty little mixture of T-30 and plasma carving up the D point here as they're pulling back. I would not be surprised if they double back and then try and torpedo this thing as soon as it gets on point. I believe I saw a beam cook off across the map somewhere around here. Looks like, yep, beam is a little bit shredded here, but I think that is in range of this. So a little bit of a firefight going on here as the small rounds are trying to tear apart the destroyer. Destroyer does not have the most armor, and they have knocked out the beam, so they are kind of in the lead for the moment against in that fight. Ooh, that said, its partner has a beam that is working. Let's just watch this cook everything off here. Yep, zap, 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 zap. Those were very fast-moving teams, huh? I don't know why that was. Interesting. Just saw damage control team fly across there, so... yeah, this bulker deciding it does not want any of that, and in return, a whole bunch of torpedoes, the big old oh eyes flying out here. Let's see if they bank downwards or not. Have to go into tactical mode. Yep, there goes the little curvature here. Have they set their staging right? Yep, they have locked onto target. Will they get hard or soft killed? We're going to find out. Defender turret firing off a whole bunch of 20 mil rounds. Yep, that is going to be at least one shot down, but that is a lot of torpedo coming in here. And clonk right in the front of the ship, right along the spine. It just wham, 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 wham. Oof. The ship is technically still alive, but, like, it's not really going to get back into the game anytime soon. There's a magazine cook-off in progress. All of those flak rounds and 20 mil rounds trying to explodinate in the fire that has just been caused. They're trying to get the beam cannon online along with the radar drive. I don't believe they have enough power to actually operate the beam cannon, though, without the big reactor. So we're seeing now the 450 bulkers over here. They have managed to turn onto target, spinning the long way like a Beyblade, firing what shots they can, but the CL is just very agile here. Thin target profile from the front, just managed to dodge mostly out of the way there. Their guns trying to return fire on the Ocellos, and I think they're just out of range of the bulk freighters. That said, at this distance, the bulk freighter's accuracy is leaving something to be desired. You see most of these shots flying off wide. They don't have great track quality. All right, let's take a look around the battle space. Floodlight Illuminator out here. Ooh, Torp Strike. Let's see. Yeah, this thing, technically not killed by the torps, but like, you need to scram your reactors right now because you have double reactor overload, and with those like work speed negatives, like 80% tax, 68% tax, you're not going to fix this in time with a repair team. So does this even have any repair teams? You see the repair teams there barely trying to make it. Yeah, have to issue your scram order to shut down your reactors 30 seconds before it hits. Oh, there's one more for good measure. So they don't quite have the damage to break the reactor and the drive here, but they're certainly trying for it. It's just throwing more and more torps out, just trying to get a few more hits into this thing, structure break it, knock out every other system. They've pretty well cooked this thing off. Ooh, and there's a magazine detonation too. So yeah, they're going to have to fix these reactors, which they can do on their own time. But ooh, yeah, okay, no damage control teams. This puppy, this thing's going to cook. It's not technically dead, as like all the systems it has technically keeps it in the game, but none of these are coming back online. It is a ticking time bomb. I'm gonna see if the Corvettes will hang out here and like eat that reactor detonation, because that'll probably cook off in like a minute or two. So looking over here now, we see the CL pair has pulled back respectively. They don't need to hold the E point there. They just need to keep them under threat as the bulk freighters are holding the kind of position here. The E point has stayed in the OSB's hand, so to their credit, they are doing a good job defending. They're being smart here, only sending a single Corvette since they know the ship is not a threat. Yep, there is the fuel line fire cook-off as we see various components go kablooey. Yeah, reactor overload and magazine. This is basically like all three types of bad detonation that you do not want to see on a ship, as this thing just completely explodes and takes most of its components with it. That said, even though they are grayed out, those reactors and drive will still cook off here. Take a look around the battle space. The Ocello pair looks like they're deciding we need to go for A point if we want to get back in this game as the... Oop, there it is. The second I look away, of course. Anyways, OSP is going towards the A point with their pair of Ocellos, trying to get that point for them. They have to contend with these beamstones, but they have gotten pretty beat up from the incoming salvo torpedoes, so they're going to try and leverage that tonnage advantage they have. These two Ocellos, each of them, I think, coming in about, let's see how much these are worth. Yeah, these are probably about 1,300 points apiece, give or take, 1,350. I don't know the exact costs, of course, I'm estimating, but see the railguns here trying to take shots at the CLs. Railguns fire very fast. Velocity-wise, that is, not rate of fire. Rate of fire, they are pretty slow. They might be able to get a hit down the spine of the CL, which would be very good, as that would inflict crits across any component that it pierces, and rails can pierce through a lot of armor. You'll see now if they're able to get onto target. I believe the guns are trying to bear. Yep, railgun turrets also, they turn very slowly. Target mass by hull, bearing to target, bearing to target. Yep, so unfortunately, the nose of the Ocello turning here, and they're trying to counteract it with the rotation speed of the gun, and not having a good time. The 450 desperately trying to fire. These CLs have pretty much dodged everything thrown at them. Very good play there. CLs, under like a whole bunch of sustained fire, not the toughest, but using their agility and small forward-facing profile, they can be very hard to kill. So, credit to the ANS player, who was the FAS fleet? Dominique, yeah. Ooh, there's some torps out in the water against the torp boats here. Let's see if there's a return torp volley sent or not. A bunch of those getting taken out by flak, actually. Ooh, no, I think those just ran out of fuel there. That's unfortunate. So when a missile runs out of fuel, it does pop. Ooh, and the Isekai truck getting shot by a beam for its trouble, right smack in the nose there. Cooked off a VLS and some of the thrusters. Not actually the worst location to get shot by a beam, honestly. If you got hit like in your drive section and disabled, that would be very unfortunate because then you'd be stuck there and gonna eat a follow-up shot. Ooh, and some rockets for their trouble, as these beamstones may have fired there last year. Whole bunch of unguided missiles just slamming into this destroyer, and that is a grayed out destroyer. Kaboom. Let's see. There is the beam cannon here. Yeah, like I said, without the big reactor, not enough power to fire the beam cannon, unfortunately. So they're trying to move themselves up. Let's see. Truck-kun is still alive. You are correct in that regard, Crystal. Let's take a look around the map, see if there's anything else going on. A bunch of life pods ejecting from the various ships here. Looks like this T-30 Plasma Bulker did punch out. ANS pretty secured to win. 200 points for them to win versus the 400 needed for the OSP. OSP can make a comeback if they're able to clear up a bunch of the points and finally get the caps, but we're seeing most of their fleets now delegated to the bottom side of the map. ANS kind of just commanding this rock the entire game and just being a big old nuisance, forcing the OSP players to try and react to them, and not, unfortunately, having the ability to hit them with torpedoes has made it rather inconvenient, I will say. Seeing some shots now flying into the OSP's Ocellos here, as they're trying to turn onto target now. Again, the Ocello, kind of similar to the Vauxhall. It's kind of a cross between the Vauxhall light cruiser and the Axford heavy cruiser for the Alliance. They're trying to get those railguns onto target, but not having a good time. So yeah, ANS just burning full ahead flank here, I think. Yep, 31 meters a second on a Raider drive. Ooh, Raider Whiplash for that speed and acceleration. So yeah, they're just cruising up here now, firing into the flank of these Ocellos. Ocellos not the toughest from the side, but from the front, they share the similar properties to the Vauxhall. Very thin forward profile and a ability to just kind of tank with the entire front side of the ship. You can lose pretty much the entire front half of the ship as long as your guns stay up, you're good. Yeah, unfortunately, presenting the broadside here, not what you want to do with an Ocello. You need to keep your heading fixed onto your enemies. Maybe they're trying to react to the... no, they're not even aiming at that. I think they're just doing a move order and unfortunately drifting a little bit wrong. So, railguns. I don't know if the railguns have even fired this game, actually. I've not seen them. But, let's see. Rails, C-53s. Okay. Well, that's unfortunate. I think the rails on a Ocello is actually a good idea in a certain fleet comp. Pairing a railgun Ocello with a mass driver liner is quite good. There's the rails we finally see, so, yep. And they didn't hit anything. God damn it. The one shot they fire. Damn. Let's see. Oh, rail shot, and... oh, manages to hit the Corvette in the back. So, yeah, when a railgun hits something... no, it didn't even hit the Corvette. What the hell? When a railgun does hit a component, it guarantees a critical hit, like a fire or atmosphere leak. But that said, they're seeing the tap out now as ANS securing the C point. Where is the C point on this map, actually? It is... back down here. Ooh, that's interesting. They must have capped it out with the rocket shuttles, but rocket shuttles now devoid of rockets are less of a threat than a ship with an actual weapon, which would be this one. Even though it can't technically fire the gun, it does have the tonnage to cap the point, along with its little buddy here, the small sprinter that could. So, ANS securing their lead now. The E point is getting flipped, but again, 3-point lead compared to a 2-cap. ANS is going to take this game by the looks of it. I think one of the players had already just tapped out there. Yep, Rom deciding to tap out as I believe all of their fleet had gone down. Was it Dauntless I said? Yes, Dauntless is like Monster Hunter World. That's a different game for a different stream though. We're playing Nebulous today. It's Winneb's Day, my dudes. Anyway, seeing the 450 bulkers here, taking some of that peppering fire. CLs have rotated around, having dealt with a bit of the Ocello fire. They decided they didn't want any of that. Instead going after the softer bellies of the bulk freighters here. Much bigger target, easier to hit. Though that can be to the detriment as you spray fire across the target trying to knock out the blast systems. See the boosted reactor here. Boosted reactors have like a 25% chance of going super critical when they get hit by a crit. So you have to be careful about that. Although, with that said, I don't think that it's going to matter too much. Bulk freighter is also fairly tough for being a retrofitted freighter for combat. Let's take a look as the briny U Elaine decides to move off a little bit here. Full on 200 torps built. I believe they're referring to the Isekai truck over here, which I don't see the total number of torps that it had, but we saw earlier, I think it had at least 100 or so. There was, yep, a bulk magazine and a reinforced magazine worth. So these are two very big slots that it had. What is supplementary radio amps? Huh, you don't see those very often. I guess that's for making the command guides a little bit better. Seeing some torps out in the water just for their trouble onto these corvettes here, although these corvettes have already long since gone down, I believe. Yep, smack, smack. It's already kicking a dead ship. Ooh, this one must have only gone down recently since lifeboats are just launching now. This happens 30 seconds after a ship dies, so maybe that was the right call after all. That said, about 32 points for ANS to win, 4-cap in their advantage. I believe that will be the GG for the match here. We'll go on to another one after this. Take a little ad intermission break thing so you can all grab a drink, a snack, etc., whatever you need. Seeing the railgun, yep, railgun on the spine here firing off. I think that rail destroyers are better than the railgun turrets, as they have double the rate of fire with a 15-second interval instead of a 30-second interval for the rail turrets. Plus, you can get a bunch of little other benefits onto a ship like this. Intel Center is one of the big advantages of running a single destroyer like this, as the destroyer is the smallest Alliance hull that you can fit the Intel Center into, which means that it's very good to add just as like a one-off for the fleet that you bring, because it just benefits everyone on your team. Having the little railgun too, just to annoy people from above. Gotta give that GG in all chat here. So fairly close game. Alliance did some sneaky moves and pushed around the side there, although we saw that the OSP was only down by 300 points. They could have gotten back into that game with a couple of different plays, but still, that's the way the cookie crumbles. Just looking through the damage numbers here for any big standouts. I'm not seeing anything particularly huge here. Yeah, the Acellos, not the Acellos. I keep getting these names backwards. The light cruisers got a little bit of work done. Some of the beam destroyers got a little bit of the cooks there with the beam turrets. Let's see, yep. Yeah, more damage dealt with a rocket shuttle than with a railgun Acello. That seems about right. Let's see, a bunch of the 450 bulkers unfortunately just didn't have anything to shoot at this game. No heavy cruisers or battleships. The Isekai truck, though, 35k on it. That is a torp liner if I ever saw one. Look at that. Just all of these various random missiles. Got pretty much every flavor of the Painbow here. Just ARAD, ACT, command, semi-active homing, ACT radar, CMD valve, just all of that. Yeah. GG, well played to everyone. Interesting show match in that. All right. And lastly, yep, the T-30 plasmas, they did a decent chunk of damage, about 1k each. Didn't unfortunately get a good chance for them to really tear into something big. OSP brought a lot of tools to counter the large ships that the Alliance likes to bring, and the Alliance countered by simply not bringing any of them. Heaviest thing they had was a light cruiser. So, yeah. It's kind of cool seeing Alliance play the high mobility style, as oftentimes you'll see them kind of go gravitating towards the very heavy side of the game, being the heavy cruiser and battleship. I know some people who are insistent about pretty much only playing battleship. And I mean, hey, play the way you want to in that, but there's a whole, like, menagerie of flavors of fleet you can try. So, that being said, we're going to head back up onto the lobby here. So I'll just head back, actually, to the main menu. So we're going to take a little ad intermission here, as I need to grab myself a little snack, and we will be right back after 3 minutes. So don't go anywhere, chat, or if you do, be back in 3 minutes, then you'll come back to see me play some Nebulous and see how badly I am at this game. Haha! See you in 3. Alrighty, chat. We are back. Just trying to find an open lobby somewhere or other. Hopped into Area Official 3, although I'm not sure if there's anyone. There might be another lobby up, actually. Let's take a quick little cursory look here. Ooh, switchback pillars. All right, let's hop into pillars in this, see what there is to see. Got, yeah, a bit fuller lobby, so we might find some stuff here. Now the question is, do I want to play Alliance or OSP? I do like playing both factions. I guess I'm playing Alliance then, because they just hopped in. Let's see. What is a fun build that I could play? I've got a whole bunch of these things just kind of whipped together that I've kind of thought of and not really tested too much. Play a Cappuccino fleet, which is a whole bunch of Corvettes named after copies, which I'm kind of a fan of. Ooh, we may just try this one. Let's see. Yeah, we're going to try this. I don't know how well this fleet's going to work. Actually, we need some tonnage. Yeah, okay, we're going to need a little bit more tonnage, so we're going to have to play the big boys this game instead. Let's break out the brothers, Axe Fraud and Axe Evasion. So, two big heavy cruisers provided that heavy firepower that sometimes the Alliance is known for. I say sometimes because after last game we learned that, turns out it's not always the case, but we're going to be doing a little bit of violence here. We got a pair of light cruisers. Ooh, these must have very expensive missiles if they've only got 2 ships like that. Those each coming in as expensive as my Axefords. My Axefords are fairly pricey at 1,500 points apiece. So the rest of our team, we got, looks like a trio of destroyers here with torpedo launchers. Spicy. I personally don't like the torpedo launcher turret, as it takes a little while to get onto a target, but the cantered launcher is quite good. It's like the vertical launcher, but a bit to the side. So, I just got an EWAR package. So this is quite similar to Task Force Ash. They're calling it Task Force Fubar, indeed. You upload to YouTube? I need to clear my VOD backlog. I'm on Twitch, but very bad at uploading YouTube. I have big backlog. Yeah, I keep telling myself, hey, I'll upload VODs, and then I don't. I literally have like all the VODs saved since I started streaming, and I need to set up my archive channel. I just haven't. I really should get around to doing that. No peeking. Anyways, meeting a couple people. It's nice to be known in the community that I'm not exactly like internet famous, but I mean, Neb is a fairly small community, so it's nice to see familiar faces here and there. Big sip of water. I was just waiting for Marlowe to ready up from the editor. I think they're just rounding up the last of their fleet, trying to tweak a couple missiles or something. Flick already on and off, so it flashes in their corner of the screen. Yo, no stream snipe. Yo. Yeah, we're going on Switchback's Pillars Forever here, chat. So, as the name might imply, it's Pillars Forever. Pillars is the Dust 2 of Nebulous. It really just is one of the most maps of all time. I will say this, Pillars, like having played it a whole bunch of time, when you rotate the map 90 degrees to the left, it completely changes the way people play it. It's really weird. People came out with a very funny, like, modded version of maps, which is literally just them rotated 90 degrees, and it so changes how you handle the map. It's such a strange thing, because, like, all the dimensions are still technically the same. Just you completely think of it in a different way. I think they messed up the name. I'm pretty sure the server has help commands, right? And let me check. Plurp. That's plurp. Poke kick. I think it has autofill. Let's try it. Oop. Right, you have to do that. Okay, maybe it doesn't, that might be a clever thing to do. There we go. Somebody got it. Yippee! Alright, we're just trying to get the game going here, so sorry, Marlo, we're gonna have to get you out of here and get new players in. Let's do it! Yippee! It's Nebbin time. Yeah, this is it happens sometimes, like you just end up doing editor stuff in the lobby, and then without realizing it, the game is filled up, and you get like a little thing in the bottom right corner of your screen that says, hey, you should probably ready up. It just shows the little circle that's like 8 out of 9 filled, but... Necessary evil, yeah. It's like, we don't want to kick people in that, but, it's, I mean, yeah, okay, actually, say. I can go OSP in that, yeah. But just trying to get the lobby up and all that. So I'm a join the OSP side instead. I also don't actually remember what the ANS team had. I think they had a destroyer. They'll probably change stuff anyways since I've hopped over, and frankly, it doesn't really matter that much since, like, yeah, once I get into the game, my brain is so smooth that I can't remember anything that happens. Anyway, it's just waiting for people to fill up here. We'll see it go. Yeah. Do the milk one? Oh, okay, the milk one, yes. Dad came home with the milk. This is a reference to something called a dad fleet, which there's a funny clip of that Vivi had made and continues to torment me with to this day. This is a 6,000 point fleet, so unfortunately, that's more than I could reasonably command right now because that's double my regular amount of points to manage. So, said, we got this is a flipper bulk freighter. Very cool to see. So, flippers are interesting in the sense that they fire one side, and then the bulk freighter, it rolls 180 degrees and fires the other side while the one side reloads, and then it flips again and continues to fire like that. So it's kind of cool to see a 450 flipper since you don't see these very often. Most of the time, people just decide to go with a single side 450, but also a Acello. I respect it. I might have to go with the kind of support fleet here instead. So this is going to be a fun micro tax, the Nekodad fleet. Let's do this one. So this has a Intel Center cargo feeder. It's got Bloodhound and early warning radar, which actually I'm going to make sure that I tweak because I was going to edit this thing earlier and forgot. Me forgetting something live on stream? Oh, that would never be a thing that happens ever, right? Right, chat? Adaptive radar, track correlate. Right, I was going to ditch a track correlator for a scryer. There we go. That way I can identify missiles at long range, and that also means I've got a couple points left over, so we'll just add some more chaff, I guess. Why not? Probably too much chaff, but I mean, hey, screw it, good enough. Whee! I'll have to tweak that fleet a little later because that's far too much chaff for that ship to have, but hey, it's gonna work. Playing the dad or mom fleet, depending who you are, or your choice of, what's the word? Choice of parental title ship in that, yeah. Playing the mom or dad fleet is pretty much you're the one who's going to control a lot of the cap points and make sure that the map is, like, kind of always under threat for your enemies. Like, you're trying to make sure that while your, like, sort of smaller fleets like these ones are doing their big frontline gunfight thing, you're sneaking around the outside, managing everything. It's like making sure that the kids are able to, like, stay in their little playpens doing their silly stuff while you manage to do everything else like file taxes. All right, so we're getting some players in now, so we got a full-up lobby. Let's hope that we get a match going in here. Seen a bunch of sort of newer faces here with the ensign rank and that. Not to flex or anything, but I have managed to grind my way to the captain rank, which is something you get after just playing the game for a while. I believe it's 30 XP for a win and 10 XP for a loss. So even if you lose, you still get something. Remember, it's not losing as long as you're learning and improving. Okay? If you did not learn, did not improve, and did not get anything else, that is a loss. If you got bested by somebody, but you still have gotten better, then you're still winning. Think about that, chat. Not sure why they have a 1,000-point fleet. There's very few people I know who play 1,000-point. 3,000 is kind of the standard for the game because when you have 3,000 points, that's enough that you can bring most of the fun toys that you would want. But it's also not like too much, so you don't have like excess, and you still have to decide what you want to invest your money into. So it's a nice medium balance there. Like if you have people with say 6,000 points, then they can tend to just overinvest in a whole bunch of stuff and get really expensive. So people decided against doing that. That said, if you see someone with a 6,000 point fleet, either it's going to be a really expensive missile boat, or they're going to be playing a probably a big ship with a bunch of little support things. So just going to ready up and say, let's go, woohoo! If your aim is to lose and you lose, are you winning or losing? A better question is, why are you aiming to lose? It's one of those like interesting conundrums there. I was getting into the game now, so I'll show you what it looks like first person. Last match we had a bit of that spectator action going on, and now we're going to get into some first person Nebulous. And for anyone who is a normal resident of my stream and has not seen me play Neb, it is one of the games of all time. For anyone who's like going for casual spaceship game, probably not the game for it. That said, you can just load up one of the starter fleets and have fun, but learning the UI is a little bit of an interesting time. There's a running joke in the community where we all kind of look at the Nebulous UI and ask ourselves, how the heck did we learn this shit? It's just like, it is a thing. That said, it is a game that lets me customize the way that I play and has a lot of different avenues for like how you can measure skill, like how good are you at multitasking, how good is your fleet editing, how good are you at like thinking on the fly, improvising solutions in that. It's a very fun game in that nature where you can decide what tools you want to bring, and then you have to figure out like how do you use them in a like battle space where there's like 7 other players and what they're doing and how you should react to that. So, I think that's a good way to describe it, where it's like it lets you play your way, but you also then have your way contested by other people who know what you're trying to do and then trying to see where you're going to go with it and that. So. All right, so we have 3 of our fleets here. We've got a group of tugs, we've got a group of little gun shuttles, and another group of gun shuttles, and then we've got the single mother, the sort of resident spire of our fleet here. It's going to go up top and try and spot the enemy. I'm going to send the little gun shuttles to the various points around the map here. To try and contest the A point with the, I think we'll do this, yeah, like that. There we go. So this way I've got all the cap points and stuff there, and we'll work them in. I didn't know exactly what my team was bringing, so we're just going to try and figure this out. What came first, the noodle or the egg? I think the egg did. I'm pretty sure that eggs exist along with the noodles. That said, maybe it's an egg noodle, in which case I don't even know then. Important detail is that I am bringing a intel center. It's always good to have at least one person on your team with an intel center. It is a very valuable resource, and it just is. You can think of it kind of like a exponential benefit. Like the more players that you have that you're providing intel to, the more valuable it gets. Or would that be that'd be multiplicative, not exponential. But yeah, just it's really good for providing your team with intelligence. Like that way you know what you're fighting against and you can react accordingly. I've just made mine a little bit better by adding a scryer. So anything I detect with the long-range radar, I'll be able to identify the type of missile it is in basically 2 seconds. Is water wet or does it just make you wet? I believe the definition of wet is saturated with water. So I want to say, I think there's like some argument that like water isn't wet by like technicality. But if you go around screaming, water isn't wet, people are just going to laugh at you. It's like, there's a difference between like, yes, you are technically correct, and then there's practically correct. Like, you have to try and communicate the information in a way that is understandable by your audience. And if you have like a whole bunch of things that's like, oh, this is technically correct, but like really ambiguous and poorly presented, then that's not a good presentation of information then. Dropping on these snowy pillars here, you can see the map is still seasonal in that. Hearing our reactors go pop, pop, pop. Actually, that's the drives. Set the initial movement there, and then we'll set the other formation. This will be blue team is going to go over this way. Yippee. Send them to cap Z point. Have to get around the rock, though. Next, we're going to select our 7 fleet, which is going to go right for the A point. Set them to loose formation, and then tell them to burn floor it. Yeah, this is probably going to lead to these 3 ships dying, but if it gets me the A cap, I am happy enough with that.
Got you, 5 by
I'm going to select our intel ship up here, have it point the early warning radar, and then just fly to the top of the map here.
Aye, Commander.
Also going to have it set its stuff this way, setting the heading and the Bloodhound radar. So this ship has a Bloodhound radar in the front of it, which is very good track quality, but is a very narrow beam, as we see here, these blue cones being the radar coverage. Early warning radar is the big blue cone, which lets me try and detect stuff. So we see a big fleet is on the A mark, which is probably something we'll have to deal with later, but I'm expecting there to be at least a swarm. So move ourselves onto the point here, readjusting course as needed. We've got our fleet here just absolutely cooking it along, so we'll just have them go around the corner like this. There we are. Actually, I could probably just change the formation there and keep them on course. They're maneuvering pretty quick. This is fine. All right, seeing our first customer here, so we're going to set the early warning radar to lock onto that one. Now, unfortunately, we don't quite have the range for that, so we're just going to point it at the point here, give or take. Move ourselves a little bit closer.
Copy that. Moving.
You see there's a battleship up here. Is that an actual battleship is the question. Could give that an attack marker, then I'll mark it as a priority. 1680 BB. I'm going to say this is BB's question mark, because it is possible that it is not a battleship, and instead just a deceptive signal. These are moving in formation. Maybe deception.
Yes,
have to be careful of that. Anyways, we see there is a customer for us. Going to lock onto this thing with our early warning radar, and then fire everything we got on it. Pew pew. We're going to fire the grape shot first and see what it is. And then it might just be a Corvette. All right, there we go. I'm going to switch over to high explosive rounds and then change to evasive maneuvering as we dip our altitude up and down here. Can't see. There we go. Getting onto the point. Yep, it's a Corvette, so we're just going to fly evasively and pepper this sucker. Pew, 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 pew. Our gun's tearing into this thing here. Does it have torpedoes? It does not have torpedoes. It is just guns. We got this. All right, let's check our fleet number 4. Yep, so these guys are just going to go down here. If it's moving fast, my money is not installment. Yep, that is a valid point. Okay, we're going to fire on this thing with whatever we got. Ewar fire jammers. We're just going to move ourselves out of the way. This should be a pretty easy cap fight, as we are just winning this fight pretty handily here. Let's take a look. What do we got here? There's a bunch of... that's a lot of stuff, actually. Okay, we're going to send our early warning radar blocking ship over the point at that. Keep the early warning facing this way. Adjust like so. Take a look. There is the battleship with a keystone. Okay, got to worry about that. Oop, uh-oh. Why am I low on power? What the hell? Interesting. I might have mismanaged my power systems if that's the case. Okay. We're just going to cease fire on that thing because I'm pretty sure that it's dead, or at least about to be. Yep, that thing is hard dead. We're going to mark it as such. You are killed. Thank you. A point is... Gotta turn off my radars real quick and hope that those miss. Whee! Yippee! Was not paying attention and ate some stuff for my troubles. Ow, 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 ow. Okay, fire a high explosive and get the hell out of dodge. Pull ahead flank. Zoom! Next, we're going to maneuver ourselves up around the map like this. Trying to contest the points up high here. We got our tugs that are able to provide some fire support, but we are going to have to adjust to hit these beamstones. Where is the fleet? Yeah. Yep, so unfortunately we are eating a lot of it here. We did know that we were going to lose some stuff going into the middle like this.
At the ready, Commander.
Alright, so yep, there's the keystones that we had eyes on. We're going to keep an eye on them. We see the battleship above us. Going to move us back a little ways since we don't want this thing to get hit. Alright, we got our tugs going about here. Let's order our tugs to try and fire on these keystones if we can. I can probably get some missiles out, but with a bunch of destroyers there, I don't have big favoring of my forces. Oop, there's a pair of Axfords. Okay. Axfords heavy cruisers firing RPF rounds. Interesting. Alright, ooh, crap. They are in range of me. I need to get out of here. Quick. Engage evasion. Yum. Yeah. Seeing my fleet here, unfortunately, biting it. Gotta go, gotta go, gotta go. You are still actually pretty healthy versus you who is getting royally kicked. So, yeah, we're going to lose a bunch of ships here, sacrificing for the A point, but it does draw the enemy out, so that is a benefit. Let's see if we can't get around this corner and then fire on them. All right, this keystone here, yes, and then jamming fire. I'm going to do this real quick, and yep. Try to get a shot on them if I can. I have some missiles that I want to throw at them, so we'll do that in a second. I've got them with a good cross-fix lock here. Got my eyes on that battleship and its friend up top. Let us see if we get some missile hits here or not. Okay, we're going to activate battle short, keeping our jammers active. And then we're going to fire a volley of missiles at them.
Spiker on the scope.
Fire!
Missiles away.
Woo. Yeah. Fortunately, our fleet there heavily biting it. You're just going to fly back to the B point and act as our defense there. And then as for this fleet, okay, you're royally toasted. Just need to fix your stuff there. For you, you're still good though, so you can turn off flanking and we'll go back. Missiles out in the water. Let's see if we get any hits here. That's a lot of point defense that we're dealing with though. Come on. Let's see, will any of these collide? A lot of flak that we're trying to get through. Oop. Plonk, plonk. Okay, so we got a couple hits there at the very least. A couple of these swinging off. Swing and a miss, unfortunately. Gonna just move back here a little ways. Let's see, lock on to you and fire. Need to not be in beam range, that would be bad. As soon as we get a chance, we're gonna fire off our other volley of missiles into him. There we go, missiles away. Fire, fire, fire. Whee! So Tug's doing Tug things, trying to fire and maneuver here. We've got our shuttles cruising around the top side. So yeah, the enemy just pushing heavily into the middle of the map right now. We're trying to do what we can here to keep our forces alive, but struggling to say the least. Yep, so they're going after the jammer on this one. A lot of flak there, but we are trimming the enemy forces here heavily. Bam, 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 bam. I'm going to order the fire onto this one, and I'm just burning flank backwards here, trying to keep them jammed. Yep. Unfortunately, jamming is not having a good time here. Luckily, the beams are not facing us, so okay, we're going to order our jammers to stop firing for a quick second there, because we have to cool them down, otherwise they will overheat on us. And now they are jamming in return, so we are able to fire for effect. Pew, 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 pew. The keystones will eventually turn and burn onto us, but I think that with our tug's maneuverability, we'll be able to get out of the way in time. So you are still heavily crippled, but we're fixing you slowly. That ship will maybe come back to the game. Okay, you're getting shot by the RPF rounds again. We need you to not be here. Even at that range, they are getting hits on us, which is unfortunate. Let's see, what do we still have that's in the game? You are technically still alive, much to my surprise, so we're going to have you get fixed in a second. Number 5 is alive. Number 7 is there. Number 8, yep, you're just going to hang out here and chill. Thank you. You'll be hiding under that rock. As for you, we're just going to keep firing on everything we can. So the keystones are pushing into the middle of the map, but they have taken heavy losses for it. So, silver linings. We are not on radar anymore, so we're going to stop burning our thrusters here. Unfortunately, that was all my Thunderhead missiles fired, which are just cheap little size 2s designed to take out ships like that. They are fairly cheap missile investments, and I'm actually surprised that I got any hits through all of that jamming and point defense. But still, we see the little escort ships here getting shoot up by my allies. Gonna try and keep an eye around the map, since there was battleships, and I have to be aware of that. I don't know where the battleship went, and when you lose track of a battleship, that is not a good sign. So, since this is kind of more our territory and we're pushing around the right side, oop, Piranha rockets out from a long-range shot. Let's see, Axford point defense, is it good or not? A lot of defenders, not a lot of flak. Couple hits into the Axford there. Axfords are fairly armored, and most of those did overshoot, so I don't think that did any significant damage, but that is enough to keep them on their toes. We're gonna move over this way. This sprinter knocked out by something and still locked. I don't know by what. You're technically still on the point, which is very funny to me. You have no damage control teams, but you're technically under command still. So that's interesting. All right, as for you, you're gonna move upwards here and just stop your go. There's a ship over there. I don't know what that is though. There's that battleship we were looking for earlier. I'm going to give a good lock onto that battleship, I think, because that is a problem we're gonna have to deal with.
On the way, Commander.
Yes. He's getting a little bit close for comfort. Let's see. Actually, no, keeping a lock on those bulk freighters seems...
Commander.
Or keeping a lock for these bulk freighters, because they have no... Are those rockets? Oh my god, it's a rocket bulk. Well, that's a nasty close-range surprise. You don't want to meet that in a dark alleyway. All right, we're going to order our ships here to... I'm going to have them keep heading facing this direction. This one's kind of wounded in the backside, so we'll try seeing if we can't get that. Give or take. Right. I don't need the early warning radar pointed so high, so we'll drop it down a little bit and just keep the little intel ship moving backwards here. Let's see. This isn't a great shot, but I'm going to try and take it anyways to see if I can get like a hit or two. They don't have radar on me, which is nice. Seeing the couple shots we have of high explosive firing off into the abyss. Just got to keep moving myself backwards. They're going to go for the E point, and I know that. But I'm assuming they won't be able to have me locked on for a close enough amount of time. I could also play the nasty game of hiding up top here, which I like. All right, we're going to readjust our formation a little bit here so we can better facilitate that move. That said, that does put us close to the battleship, which is probably going to push over. All right, I think we're actually going to... What the heck is that? How did you get down there? Oh, that's got to be a life pod. Okay, we're going to ignore that. That's not a threat. I was wondering how they worked a capper behind us, but nope, looks like we're fine. Okay, so unfortunately these Axfords, they know the threat that we pose to that cap point, so they're not letting us get anywhere close to it. We're just going to keep our eyes out for them.
At the ready,
Got a good old intel ship here moving its way about. Gonna have to move the early warning tracker back up to neutral. Yo. So you are...
Hit that one, Commander.
Actually,
Target confirmed.
I can kind of afford to get closer here. As long as I stay outside of 6 kilometers, I'm trying to tiptoe the line here. Like, I want to be at 6.5 kilometers, but they want to get me at 6 or below for their beam. So I've got like a 500-meter window that I can actually like get them with. We're going to order our ships to hold fire here so we don't waste ammo, since firing just at a random crap track like this will apparently hit. Wow, I didn't expect that to hit. All right, well, if that's good enough, that's good enough. Fire for effect. Oh, accidentally pull up the hook track tool, don't need that. Just need to push ourselves about a kilometer closer, and we should get really good shots there. We are currently winning with a 3-2 cap. Just have to keep that advantage up. Move myself upwards here to try and get around the map.
On the way, Commander.
All right, let's burn our early warning radar this way as well. I don't know. Oh, there's a Vauxhall hiding. Interesting. I wonder where that's been all game. There's that battleship we had to be worried about. I'm going to put a warning marker on that. I know roughly where it is. Oh, yep, they see me. That is bad. I did not want to be here. Oh, actually, I took a bunch of hits. Where did I get hit by something? Well, my situational awareness is good as ever. Yippee!
Hostile lock detected.
Let's see. I am being locked on somewhere. Blue is, yep, this one getting shot at. Ow, 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 ow.
Negative.
Damn it. I just fixed that. No!
The generator is dead.
Well, either way, we're just going to hide close to the rock here and pop over when it is opportunistic for us. So we're just going to be threatening as long as we're there anyways. Let's try and move a little bit closer. Come on, just a bit more. I've almost got this thing knocked out, so I want to knock out that keystone if I can, since their forces are kind of retreating downwards. The A point is firmly in our hands. There's a size 2 hybrid going into a bulk freighter there. It looks fine. Not really that much for that. All right, we're going to order the ships to stop here since we have lock range, and we're just going to move horizontally, like so. Lateral motion, do. Fire the missiles. Actually, we don't have any more missiles, but those are EO semi-active homing. Okay, so I can't soft kill those, unfortunately. These are probably going to hurt. By probably, I mean they are. So we're going to just early warning radar track that. I can't actually do anything about those because EO is, I don't have the tools to counter EO, so just going to have to hope that these don't hurt as much as I think they will. And maybe if we just go really fast and take it at a weird angle, it'll work. Let's find out. If these are HEC-P, this is going to really suck. That said, oop, there's more EO type. A couple of them getting shot down. So no terminal maneuver. Oh, clonk, ow. Okay, so that does knock out the Bloodhound, but that does mean that we can restore it because we have 4 restores left in this sucker. Wahahaha.
Commands on the line.
Gonna keep our ships moving here as well. The immobilized keystone has not launched life pods, I don't think. That said, we're just gonna keep peppering it with shots until it does. I want to keep my distance here in case they push onto the E point, but we are holding a 3-cap lead over them, so that's good for us. Again, my shuttle's up top here, just kind of trying to hide. These Axfords have a lot of RPF rounds and a ton of chaff they just popped there. I guess they have incoming. Yep, there's a whole bunch of size 2 missiles just kind of bobbing and weaving their way in. Let's see what they get hits on. Check my ship. Yep, they're fixing the thing. A bunch of size 2s. They didn't have much in the way of flak. I think they replaced their flak guns with RPF 120s. Yep, looks like it. So that's a little greedy to do, but this also gets you very good, like, punch down ability because you're able to bring a whole bunch of RPF rounds onto small targets. Oh, look at that. Size 3 backpacks. And a golf ball, too. Very nice. That's a good Axford pairing for close-range brawling, but you are vulnerable to size 2s and size 1 missiles just because the nature of, having no flak. Flak is very good against those devices. You need different types of PD for different threats. There's a bunch of the size 2s. I'm wondering, is that like light cruiser pairing? I think that these light cruisers are missile-based. That or maybe they're just using a whole bunch of missile backpack. Either way, firing on this thing for all it's worth. I don't know if I've knocked it out or not. I'm just going to keep putting shells into it until it stops moving, and we'll go with that as our play. Yeah. Keep ourselves kind of maneuverable. I am very surprised they've not tried to just overload onto the E point because, I mean, we've just been kind of hanging out this whole game.
Yes, Commander.
Anyways, you can turn off your flank thrusters because we don't need that. We've got the Bloodhound radar back online, so we're going to provide a good quality lock here. There we are. Bloodhound doing its job once it finally turns and burns. Solomon has been locked briefly by something, but then the lock was broken given the range. We have a angle on it, so once that track correlated Bloodhound gets on target. Ooh, look at that. There's the rocket bulker. Yeah, immobilized target. Womp, womp. Smack, 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 smack. Yep, that thing's blown up. You can cease fire there. Thank you. Oop. Okay, once again, don't know why I get low power. I'm not sure what is doing that. I know the Grazer turret is trying to shoot. Ooh, torpedoes coming out. Oh, does that Axford have a torpedo pack? Oh, that's a nasty close-range brawl fleet then. Yeah, they've got all the close-range weapons. They've got 120s, 250s, and torpedoes in the water now. Just seeing all of this stuff going into the poor Cello here that just got caught in the broadside or got hit hard enough it spun around. Yeah, that's rough, buddy. Oof. Okay, that said, we are going to try and do a fun reckless play here. So we're going to have you just hang out for the moment. We're going to have you actually go up and try and do that YOLO cap we just talked about, getting over the top of the rock. I'm hoping that those don't have any weaponry and stuff. Again, still technically we own the A point, which is very funny to me. Let's see, is there anything I can be effective against? That keystone we could actually punch decently. What does the battleship have? The battleship has a golf ball in the back and 450 in the front. Okay, we can take that fight. Yes. So the battleship does not have enough tools to effectively counter us. So this means that we can be an annoying little shit on the... There they are. Aha! I knew those keystones were going to come back to haunt me. All right, lock target, fire jammers. Actually, just fire jammers on track instead. Yep, like right around there. Yep, boop. We need to adjust this, so it's been an honor, Happy. Thank you. Yep, just gonna adjust my formations here a little bit so we can get onto target. I'm gonna only fire one jammer because we don't need both of them. All right, you are going for it. Make it happen, Captain. Gotta go boop and then boop into the wall there. We're gonna see if the Vauxhalls have guns or if they're missiles. Oh crap, they have guns. Okay, yep. New plan. We're gonna hide on the rock. Yippee! Oh, okay. We just lost a ship somewhere. I don't know which one. Oh, okay. They finally shot that one. Cool. They figured out that it does in fact exist. We've got little ships hiding under rocks right now, trying to do their best. So, see how it goes. Adjusting our early warning radar once again. Missiles out in the water. Hello, you. Yep. Could you kindly fire on that Rains? Thank you. Don't know why they weren't firing, but oh, jerk. Get jammed.
Beginning to get that component online.
Battle short.
We have internal damage.
Ow. RPF rounds hurting a lot. We should break their lock here any second, I think. Yep, there we go. Broken their lock, and we'll just accelerate to attack speed up this way. We are getting a little bit close for comfort against some of their threats, namely the destroyer, but we are putting good shots out here, so just maneuver around like so. Trying to actually put some space between us. Yeah, the Axfords, we're now out of their range, so we're good on that front. We can switch our jamming back over to these guys. Turn off battle short just so we don't cook ourselves by accident. They do see us, which... Wait, what? They see us? Ah, okay. Well then, if they can't see us normally for there, I guess we'll just keep jamming those guys then. Because, yeah, I guess they don't have any radars working. Excellent. Switch targets over to that destroyer and keep pulling back now. They're getting awfully close for comfort, so we don't want any of that. Just able to read chat now, so many different colored lines. Yeah, welcome to Nebulous Fleet Command, everyone. This is one of the video games of all time. I hope this all makes sense to you. This is why it's like there's certain games you don't want to stream because I really like playing a game called Foxhole, but it is not a very good game to stream because it is a very particular game, and there's a whole bunch of people who are saying you have to be very careful about like what intelligence you give to the enemy in that, because it's persistent world MMO thing. In the case of Nebulous, it's you just don't have many people streaming it because, like, if you're just a casual viewer and you drop into this stream, it's like, what am I even looking at? I'm firing at a diamond over here. I've got these ships named Thingy with the green markers on them. Something is happening in this game. There's the jamming going off there. I think I've just, like, I don't actually remember why my ship is going low power. I'm assuming I'm, like, just over the power budget or something, and it's messed up because of that. All right, we'll just move you a little bit over to here and then keep our early warning radar going this way. So yeah, we know that they're guarding the C point very well with RPF round. Oop, you are way over. Okay, reactor again running low. Ah, beams! Luckily, though, we are very small and also flying evasively, so they can't hit us, I hope. We're just going to keep putting distance between us and them and trying to fire all the shots we can. 2 frigates and then the destroyer. Ag! Yes, okay, good. So they have really bad track quality. Fire the jammers on them, like, right now. Battle short if you have to. They don't have a lock on us, so I'm just hoping that they have really bad radars and that we can get behind this rock. Okay, Happy is out, unfortunately. I think they just bit the dust with the last fleet. Yeah, unfortunately, their flipper liner just got gutted, and then their Celloed followed. Okay, we're just going to hide under rocks and be a sneaky little nuisance here. Yep, they can't see us. We'll stagger our radar fire, our jammer fire. Oops, they can see us now, actually. Number 3. Okay, your bellbird is down. Yours is not. Continue firing jamming. Thank you. Ah! Keep firing every shot we can. Knock out that stupid beam turret. Yippee! Run away. Just gonna rally up with our friends here and then we'll punch down. So unfortunately, they do take the A cap, but I should be able to sneak a back cap in a second or so. Those not frigates. What are they called? Light cruisers still providing a very annoying screen here. Should be able to get down like there-ish, I think. Trying to path this is annoying. Perfect. That will take a bunch of positioning. Oop, okay, they're getting jumped on. This is my cue. Yes. So I need to now move on to the point while they are occupied. All right, full flank ahead. Go, go, go. Full flank ahead, just direct pathing. It doesn't matter because you can't dodge RPF, really. Okay, try to keep firing on this thing. Fire the jammers. You're on cooldown. You'll be refreshed in a second. Yep, there you go. Keep jamming. Can't see you. And if you can't see you, they can't shoot you. Unless they manual track fire location, which is very impressive if they do. Stop burning our flank thrusters because we're still outpacing them decently. That, and we're also, constant electronic warfare being a big pain in the butt. Just fire your gun every time you can. The 250 Spinal isn't as good as it used to be. It got deservedly nerfed, and we're seeing, a bunch of size 2s out on target now. They're using tactical reference point now to bank their shots. We're going to battle short so we get double jamming coverage, really messing them up here. Yep, time on target, baby. Let's go. So yeah, this thing has a beam turret and some... It does not have flak. It's got a little rebound turret, and that is not going to cut it. Wham, 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 wham. Huzzah! Thank you. Active radar seekers now referring them to a actual valid target. See one of the thrusters there, I believe, getting knocked out. Yep, there goes the drive. That thing is dead. Good kill. Good S2s, baby. Woohoo! And then this one also biting the dust along with it. We're going to turn off battle short there. Last target alive is going to be this one. We are actually out of HE rounds. We'll switch to AP, which is almost as good. Anyways, so you're going to go onto the point there. Yep, I can path you better than that, I think. Just like a little bit below that rock and then down onto the D. There we go. And then, yep, the CL's dealt with over there as they have been contested nonstop. Where is my intel ship? You need to be around the place. Okay, so you are going to keep a lock on these Axfors, I think, because they are a problem. And I don't know where that battleship went. Chat, where's the battleship?
Aye, they've got a lock on us.
Well, that answers where that thing is.
Roger that.
All right, so that is going to be a problem that we need to go around. We're going to go around the top of the rock instead and get onto the D point. This is the nasty backcapping that we're able to do with our various shuttles we've hidden around the map. Gonna fire everything we have left on that reins. Trying to hear for the alarms. Come on. Pop, damn it. Pop.
Orders, Commander.
Receiving.
We're firing AP rounds, which are not as effective against a little frigate like this, as we don't really need the armor piercing. Instead, we need the extra firepower provided by the HE, because it goes kablooey in a radius and does better damage with that. That said, the AP rounds still do pretty effective, because, I mean, hey, at the end of the day, gun is gun. See some big shots landing into this thing now from, yeah, we got friendly fire support here. Bulk freighter spewing from the broadside. Go, Galleon. Let's go. At this thing. Clang, clang, clang. Normally, you can hear the alarms, or the escape pods, or the reactor detonation. That works too. That wasn't the reins that we were after, but it was a target. Okay, so let's see. Need to keep my early warning radar tracking stuff here. There's the Solomon. So they are holding the A point, but we're getting everything else right now. Because I've got this cap, I'm going to go hide on top of these rocks here. Okay, they are going for the D cap, so we're going to break off from that. They're just going to sit on that point, and I don't want to get killed here, so we're going to just hide ourselves. I don't think they see me, actually, yet. Yeah, they haven't seen me quite yet. They've got me jammed, but that's just from something else. So,
Standing by.
I think that the time has come to move over this way. Actually, if they're just going to burn like that, I can throw you onto the A point. Yes, excellent. All right, are you evacuated? You are not under command. That doesn't mean you're dead. Keep firing. Uh-oh. Ooh. Okay, that's going to be a drive detonation in like 2 minutes. How long did it say my ship was going to take to get here? Okay, longer than 2 minutes. That's fine, chat. That's fine. Yippee. It is firing every shot. This thing is probably dead. Yeah, it's evacuated. Okay, cool. Signal has been killed. There we go. I think this sometimes happens where both you and a teammate both issue the, hey, this thing's dead order, and then it, like, flips it back and forth. It's like when you try and, like, walk past somebody, and, like, they step to the left, and you step to the left, then they step to the right, and you step to the right. And you both just kind of, like, shrug and laugh, and then hope that nobody saw. All right, let's take a look around the map, see. Still somehow can't see them on the D points. They're probably hiding. We're going to repair our track correlator, because, I mean, hey, why not get some better track quality? We'll swing our early warning over here. They are going for the E point. We don't have anything to really kill a battleship at this stage of the game. That said, those Axfords are going to be a problem, so we're going to just dive down. We're going to win this on caps, I'm certain, because we are playing the nasty little back cappage. Ooh, okay. Their voxels are going around. Interesting. All right, that's our cue then to support our bulk freighter here, because if it gets attacked, then our ship will be pretty easily able to get by. Yeah, the voxel's just moving off, so hit the flank thrusters there. Let's go. You're getting closer to the point, but this thing will cook off shortly before. Yep, reactor drive detonation, so that way they will be thinking it's the other one. All right, let's see, this appears to be the weakened one, so we're going to go for that guy, ordering the attack now. Spin around like so, and hit him with the jammers. Wop, wop.
Electronic warfare activated.
So we're just going to jam the crap out of them, providing fire support here. We don't want to get in angle so that the Solomon can see us. But if we're able to keep this jamming going like so, we are going to be a big nuisance to them. Since, yeah, they're relying on command guidance, and without the ability to lock onto the target, they can't actually do anything with that. See a bunch of, what's this, size 2s? Yeah, size 2s going after the battleship here. I don't think he's turned off his radar, because these are ARAD Seeker, I'm pretty sure. Womp womp! Right into the broadside of the BB. This won't kill it, but I'll certainly set it back a little ways and tell it that there's better things to be firing at right now. The ship here has not put a bunch of fire into us, which means that it's probably after the bulk freighter or escorts, or they just can't see us. Yeah, they just can't see us. We're jamming too much. Okay, let's... I say that as both of our jammers just run out. Okay. If they fire on us, that's going to be bad. Now they see us. Yep, okay. Everyone, fire jammers, please. Number 3, you are good to battle short and just try and keep them jammed. Thank you. We need to adjust our position on this. You need to fire your jammer on this one and battle short. There we go. Should break lock any sec. Okay, a couple of them break lock. That said, they've got a bullseye fire control lock, which we can't really do anything about. Crap, I did not micro this correctly. Ow, 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 ow. Clonk, 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 clonk. Yeah, the fire control lock is carving through our stuff here. I'm going to quickly turn off anything. Nope, we're just too close. Damn it. All right, well, we're just going to have to fire everything we got on it and keep them busy for the moment. Try and get the gun back online. Oop, there goes the reactor. Okay, you just dive, because number 1 is not going to live. Yep. Okay, let's see. What needs shooting at? All right, so they got a Vauxhall trying to come down here, but I am on the point. What do you mean out of missiles? Yes, we've been out of missiles for hours. All right, anyways, you are on point doing your thing. Thank you. I could shoot the Solomon, but that doesn't do anything. Screw it. We're going to shoot you with high explosive shells. Yeah. There we go. Got the A point, so now we're just going to find a rock to hide under, which will be nicely right there. And then our tugs don't need to actually win this fight. I just need to keep the enemy occupied because we're securing a 4 cap right now and going to win off that.
We need to move now.
See, we got 890 points to their 700. Still pretty close game, all things considered. They didn't have very many cappers, and we cleaned up their fleets pretty well early on. But, like, yeah, just barely able to keep this thing alive. Magazine is out. CIC, keep alive. Prioritize what you can. How many repair teams? I got 1 repair team. Okay, they're making their ends meet. Yep. I'm totally burning out my jammers doing this, but whatever. Worth it, I believe. Ow. Yep, that one's getting popped too. Ow, 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 ow. That said, we have kept the enemy distracted long enough so that we are able to secure the points. I've got little ships hiding around the battle space, so if they try and get any of these points, I can retake them. Let's see. Ooh, uh-oh. Hi there. How do you do? This is a little awkward. Fire AP. Okay. I just realized that there was a ship over here because I was not paying attention. All right, well, the rocket bulker is contesting the D point at the very least with us and firing rockets, as the name might imply. We've got our guns tech. Ooh, ouch. Yeah, that thing just is like, huh, yeah, you're dead. And then suddenly it gets the womp womp clonk. Can't have purple hair and dauntless? You can. I think you just need to unlock one of the custom dies. You can customize your character later than that. You can have purple hair and Nebulous. I jest, but only slightly. Okay, there is a ship on the C point, which we should deal with. You can go up there, I think. Actually, that's a Vauxhall. I can't fight that after all, so we're just going to hide under our rock like we had been doing. So just stay here. This is a good rock. I like this rock. Okay, so, yep. Once again, our tugs just kind of getting beat up. Tugs, we don't have the firepower to fight anything, so we're just going to keep the Axfords over here occupied. The Solomon is on the E point doing its thing. Keystone is here. They're throwing in the GG. We're going to call the GG. Yep. Yeah, credit to them. They killed a bunch of stuff. Yeah. Like, there's not really much left in terms of fleet. We've got our rocket bulkers that are just constantly keeping this thing knocked out. They can't actually kill it because the reinforced CIC that it should have, just you can't kill that with rockets. You don't have enough like burst damage for it. But yeah, there's just a lot that they'd have to deal with. Like the CLs needed to be more aggressive cleaning me up because I pretty much was able to sneak around the cap points all the whole game and just do my stuff there. Yeah, even though I lost most of my fleet, I got the job done. And remember, the objective is what matters. Whippy! All right, that's the battle over. 1,000 points to 748. Tugs did their tug things. Shuttles did their shuttle things. Yeah, that's the Nekodad fleet. It's a fun little micro tax that you have to constantly hop around the battle space and then try and like figure out what you're doing with. Holy crap, look at that. 43. Damn, that thing got a lot of damage done with the missiles. Command and ARAD acts. Yep, just what I thought. Size 2s, they can put a nasty amount of firepower out. This is a fairly expensive bulker. It's like, how much is it? Yeah, that's like 2,300 points. Yep. It's a nice S2s. Yeah, that was a good missile. I guess you could call it a backpack. So one side of that bulk freighter is guns, and then the backside is the missile launchers. So it's able to fire all of its guns, and then the missiles like snake around the outside of the ship, going around the back, and then they just zoom at whatever target it's fighting. So has a jammer and blackjack. 3 grazers. Wow, this thing's got a lot of power in it. Okay. I mean, it is like almost a 24,000 point ship. So yeah, it kind of checks out for that. Yeah, 43,000 damage on a bulker. That is some good numbers. Let's see. Around the other ships we have our tugs and stuff, dealing about 5-ish thousand damage each. Our shuttle's not really doing much. Of course, our monitor here unarmed for the most part, except for the ceremonial army missile, not really doing more than you would expect. Let's have a little look-see here. At the various little the various little shuttles around the space. Yeah, we managed to do a pretty good jump on that beam fleet at the start of the game because we saw them coming thanks to our early warning radar and were able to punish them. The battleship, yep, 17,000 damage, respectable enough. Well, you see it did get whacked by a bunch of those size 2 missiles. It's probably the reactors or small drives getting knocked out there along the missile backpack. Or, no, it didn't have a missile backpack, it had a golf ball. Bunch of damage on the Axfords. Respect to them. Yeah, really good brawling build. A lot of damage you can put out with these torpedoes. This is the close quarters, I want to have a fist fight with you build, and I respect the hell out of it because it's really fun to do gun brawls. You can do like the long range like standoff fights with guns, which is it's very kind of like artisanal, very fencing like you're kind of like trying to touch blades at 11 kilometers and stuff, so you can get like just the right shot and angle correctly. And then there's the I want to throw all the bullets at you that I can of brawl builds like this. When you see like a brawl Axford square off against like a spinning bulk freighter and a cello with 250s, it's a lot of fun because there's just so many colors flying around the screen and explosions going off. So yeah, I like the brawl fleet. This is a good one, Philip. Then we had these CLs, which... Okay, yeah, these are CLs with the hybrids and the backpack. Interesting. So they had HECPs and HE shaped. We got hit by a couple of these ones. I think that's like 2 or 3 hits on us at least. But they didn't have enough to actually kill our monitor, which was very nice. They only knocked out our radar. So yeah, I think that like if they were a little more aggressive with the CLs, because they hid them for most of the game trying to get their missile strikes off and then swept into play the gunfight. I think if these guys were hunting me down more aggressively, I would have not been able to get the caps that won us the game, but very fun game either way. We're going to hop back to the main menu, and I might run an ad, or I might just call stream here. I'm going to tab out real quick and check Twitch, see if any of my friends are online for stuffies, and we'll go from there, and yeah. Let's see. Doesn't look like it quite yet, so I think we have time for one more chat. All right. I'm going to say we have time for one more. Okay, we're going to run a quick 3-minute ad break so you all have time to get up, stretch, get something to drink, and all that. And after that, we'll hop back into the lobbies and see what we find. Yeah, I will be right back in 3. There we are. There's the microphone mute button. All right, chat. We are back in business. Found ourselves another lobby. Just getting ourselves going on area official number 5 today. Got time for one more, so let's make it a good one. This is Broken Bones, which is one of the newer maps added to the game, or at least I think it's one of the newer ones. I've not played it too much, but it's very interesting, kind of a floating skull in space. So we're going to be playing sort of an 8-kilometer standoff fleet of 3 Vauxhalls. Got ourselves a couple Defender turrets in there to guard against torpedo strikes and stuff. Containers as well. And then a couple of size 2 counter missile, size 1 extended lethality blast frag, AMM, which is an entire mouthful. So, seeing our team selecting their various stuffs now, we see Rang got these big old torpedo launcher. Ooh, TLS. Okay. Again, I don't like the TLS personally because it takes a while to fire the damn thing. It has to be like pointed exactly at the enemy versus the cantered and vertical launchers, which they just fire the missile out and then it kind of like does its thing in flight and gets to them. So slight annoyance there. But Sylvia, ooh, the beam battleship, the Hanged Man. Okay, yeah, beam battleship. If you get within 5 kilometers of this thing, you're gonna have a bad time. Beams do maximum damage, I believe, at like half of their maximum distance, give or take. Maybe it's like 2/3. There's a whole chart showing beam damage, but yeah, basically, if you get within 5 kilometers of a battleship like this with triple beam turret, that's a bad time in a nutshell. Let's see, what do we got? Good old gun battleship, gun cruiser here. Got the full 450 package, so 7 barrels of 450, very good stuff. Then just a couple of point defense escort frigates go along with this. I prefer this style of play with a centerpiece like a heavy command cruiser, and then you've got like your escorting frigates and stuff. I find it to be just very, very dynamic. Like with a battleship, you're sinking so many points into the battleship hull, and when people see battleship, they think, oh crap, I need to deal with that right now. Like that is the big thing on the map. I don't think that battleships are bad, but I just feel like you're putting too many points into one hull to just sit in a point for them to, in my opinion, be good. Don't get me wrong, battleships can be good. Like I've seen some very good battleship players do some nasty things. I just prefer the flexibility of the Axford hull over that of the battleship. So we just got kind of a mixed bag for the rest of the team. Ooh, a missile Vauxhall. Interesting. Wonder why. Normally you see like a couple of Reigns frigates or missiles, and they've just got some offside scouts. So, okay, they're probably doing like a intel center in this one, and then a bunch of missiles. I guess you could do it with the destroyer too, but whatever. Our job is going to be countering what we did last game, which basically means we're going to be looking around the map for anything that we can throw a whole bunch of RPF rounds at. So any shuttle or tug that exists in the same like proximity as our ships, if it gets within 8 kilometers, our job is to turn it to dust. So we're going to see if we can do that well or not, chat. That said, Vauxhalls, again, not the toughest ship in the game. Despite being a cruiser, they are, as the name would imply, a light cruiser, so they will take a bunch of punishment and die if you are not careful with them. It is a good hull in the sense that it rewards you for being good with their like micro and headings and stuff, but if you slip up with them, they can die very quickly versus something a little more forgiving, such as the Axford or the, I guess the bulk freighter is kind of forgiving in a way, but bulk freighters and Vauxhalls are not exactly comparable. They're just very different in the way that they function. I guess maybe an Acello would be a kind. Acello is the midway point between the Vauxhall and the Axford. So basically, with the Vauxhall, keep it moving, keep nose towards enemy, and you'll go with it. We're on Broken Bones, which is the this is not the skull map. This is the potato map. So big old shattered potato and whatnot. I think that I want to play the outside flank somewhere. We could cap the point here and then try and guard on the underside. You know, actually, that's a fun idea. We're going to flip the map over, and then we're going to play the underside. So I'm going to go here, grab the 8 point, and then like play this part here, because this is all very open, and I can maneuver nicely here. Versus like if we look at the top, it's all kind of like closed up in that. So yeah, I think a lot of people, they don't remember that you can flip the map over. In fact, I can just do it a whole bunch now. Whee! Whee! Okay, who else is dizzy? Yippee! All right. We're going to see how this map goes. It's interesting. I actually like this one quite a bit because you got the map very broken up like this, so you can do some fun maneuvering going like through the various canyons here and stuff. At the same time, you also have like to deal with the fact that there's just a bunch of big rock in the way of getting places. So you can peek out, you can cut through the various canyons and stuff. I think it's an interesting layout. I won't comment on whether it is a particularly good or bad like competitive style of map because again, I've not played it too much. but I do like the way that it's kind of structured with this like big broken asteroid that you dip in and out of. It feels very fun. Our team has been readied up. We're just waiting on Optim over there, so let's see him get to it. Yeah. And then we'll get some ship-on-ship action. Yippee! Alright. Got the Cringe Destroyer and Mini Cringe Destroyer. I think that's our battleship. If it's Cringe Destroyer, I should not exist in the same battle space. I am Cringe Catboy on the internet. 6 seconds to drop. I think that they just probably forgot to hit the ready button, or they're placing a whole bunch of ships and, like, finessing it. Wait, oh, there we go. Alright, see, weird. Oh, that's just Skybox. Okay, I thought that was friendly thruster flares that were loading funny. We get our 3 ships in a row here. You can see some of the enemy thruster flares coming in. You can extrapolate a little bit of info about what you're facing from the enemy's drive flares and the size and position of them and stuff, but there's not too much to really delve into here since, again, it's a giant potato of a map, and we're going to have to figure out where to go from there. We're going to flip the map over like we had planned. We're going to fly over to here, set ourselves to the loose formation so we don't have to worry about our ships kind of making each other slow down. So set our heading that way, and these fellow ships will follow. Yeah. Got the D point over here. It's a very long run to the D point. So like when we get to the C point here, if we check our map tool, right, that is like, where is it? Yeah, it's 7.5 kilometers there. So like that's our effective gun range, give or take, along there. And the enemy could be on the D point and then see us coming. So I think we'll cap our point and then probably try and like crawl up along this rock to threaten the D. Because that way we are also going to provide a flank support for our big Corvette hexagon here. Yeah. Corvette Star. And there's the mighty battleship, the Hanged Man. Makes me wonder, what is the... Okay, the Cringe Destroyer is this one, and it just has a little picket ship alongside it with torpedoes, I guess, and a Pinard. Pinard probably not going to be much use here. That is one thing to note. Early warning radars and Pinards aren't going to be as useful because there's just a whole bunch of cover on this map obscuring lines of sight compared to something like, say, Pillars or Nix's Eye. See our allies here, little Sarissa and Cannon frigate. Let's see. Defenders. Yep, just a Defender and Sarissa on that thing. So just little picket ships to go along with your main force here. This one just getting relegated to moving forward as a scout. I think that this Cringe Detector, yep. So you see the roll command issued so that the Pinard module is able to spot enemies. They've got a blanket, a bullseye, and a floodlight. So I don't believe the ship actually has a radar installed in it. They're just going to try and rely on providing support for the allies.
How can we help today, Commander?
Or maybe the floodlight is for the missiles that Leviathan brought. It's unusual to see a light cruiser missile setup like this in modern day and age. Pre-missile update, yeah, you see these things all the time because that was kind of the hole to use for it. But nowadays, most of the time, you're going to see either like a frigate most commonly or a destroyer occasionally kitted out with missiles. The destroyer is really nice because you can get a intel center in it and a beam cannon, so you can have it play essentially a goalie role, where it just kind of hangs out in the back the whole game, firing missiles off, racking up some damage. And then if they try and threaten like your cap, like if I had a beam destroyer, right, with missiles, I just park it like right over here, and then I just like fire missiles around the entire map the whole game until something comes to try and threaten the A point. Then I just slide it out and blast them with the beam. So that's the goalie term used for that.
On the way, Commander.
Yeah. I should probably make a hockey-themed fleet. Like, I've got a beamstone goalie, and then just go from there with, like, a couple, like, strikers and stuff. That'd be fun.
Send your traffic.
Striker referring to... Actually, I'm not sure if anyone knows the striker terminology. That's kind of an outdated term for the ship, but... Anyways. Big potato.
How can we help today, Commander?
So we've secured the A point. They've secured the E point. That's our natural points. 3 points to contest here. We are getting the B point first and foremost, because that is kind of the closer, as close as to our drop. The C point is kind of the high neutral, so we'll probably see a bunch of fire go off there. And then the D point is probably going to be their natural flow. So each team has their own, like, natural cap that you just expected to get, and then, like, your kind of progression, expansion, and then you'll just get with the, like, up the centralized, so, like, middle point. This is pretty typical for 5 points capture maps. It's like you get 2 points kind of going to each team, and then like 1 center point, or you get 1 natural point and then 3 contested. So we can see there is something down there. That said, I'm going to turn on flank thrusters because we need to stick and move.
On the way, Commander.
I'm going to hope that there's nothing poking out here, and I'm also going to point my nose a little bit downwards.
Aye, aye.
So I wouldn't be surprised if that's just like a scouting shuttle kind of cruising through the middle of the map now to try and find stuff. They did get the D point, but that could just be a
Gotcha,
shuttle.
5 by 5.
I want to kill every shuttle that I see in this map, because my
Copy
goal,
that.
again,
Moving.
as the light cruisers, is to make sure that the enemy does not have any capping assets.
Moving out.
That's why we got our 250 guns. As I was moving up to the top of the map, I think I can probably afford to cut across open space here and then get to
Aye,
the
aye.
other side.
Full power.
We're going to find out if this ends up going horribly wrong. Yep, there's another ship that we're looking for. So once we get within 9 kilometers, we can lock, and once we get within 8 kilometers, we can fire.
Aye, aye, Commander.
So
We're
I'm going
moving.
to issue the RPF fire
Can't
order
reach
already
that
on
point.
that. Go. CSL's just barely cruising over top of this rock here. Gonna point our heading at
Aye,
them. They're already pulling back, so yeah, they know what's up. There's a cargo feeder. Okay, so cargo feeder, unfortunately, not something we can do a whole lot of damage against.
Send your traffic.
We can shoot it with AP rounds, but again, the AP
Copy
rounds
that.
we have are not the greatest against a heavily armored target like that. You really want 450 against a cargo feeder, since it does a significant amount more damage and easily punches through
Aye,
the
aye.
armor.
Full power.
Ooh, that is a line ship, apparently. Interesting. Okay, well,
Go
that
ahead,
complicates
Command.
things slightly. We are fairly
aye.
even
Full
against line
power.
ships. When we're trading at the 8-kilometer mark, we're pretty much in our favor because we have a very thin target, and with the radar drives we have included, we can accelerate and
How can we help
decelerate
today,
very fast,
Commander?
making it quite good at dodging. There's the tugs we're after. All right, so we have our targets
Moving out.
set. We have our prey in sight. Set my formation to adjust for
Get
that.
information.
Point our
Aye,
nose
aye.
this away. Go from there.
Aye, aye, Commander.
Yeah, you can see
We're
we are coming around the flank right now, which is exactly what we want to do. I'm going to
At the
order,
ready, Commander.
RPF rounds. Yeah, that's a tug swarm. Perfect. That is our ideal target. We want to shoot this thing in the side because all of our main fleet is hitting it in the front right now. They're going to throw like all the torpedoes and jamming and guns out that they
How
can.
can we help
And
today,
we're just going to come
Commander?
around the outside like this, cruising in
On the
and
way,
kill them.
Commander.
Let's see.
Go ahead,
Yep. Okay. I want you to lock
Send
on
traffic.
here and then fire
Must
RPF.
be under our range, Commander.
We fired a volley at them, I think.
At the
This one
ready,
is
Commander.
closest, actually, so we'll fire on that
Let's
guy.
be under our range,
There
Commander.
we go. They can
Moving
see us
out.
now as they've just come into range. Those bulk freighters going to be there. Airborne Ninja, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Pull up and share. We are playing Nebulous Fleet Command. And things are about to get
Gotcha.
loud
5
as
by
these bulk
5.
freighters have us in range. Yep. Time to fly evasively. Fly down and up and keep it going.
Aye, aye.
Yippee!
Full power.
Bam, 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 bam. So doing a good chunk of damage
Gotcha.
there.
5 by
We're going to
5.
lock onto this one now, just
It'll be
splitting our
done,
fire
Commander.
across. Yep, there we are. Okay,
Moving
yep,
out.
quickly adjust our course and headings and such, keeping the enemy in the
Aye,
nose
aye,
arc
Commander.
here.
Enemy fire inbound.
Go.
On the way,
Change
Commander.
again once our heading's set. Yeah, they are firing high explosive round, which isn't going to do anything to my armor at this range. I'm just going to
At the
pepper
ready,
into them with
Commander.
everything I
They are
got.
locking on.
Changing
It'll be done,
targets as I
Commander.
go. Go,
On the
adjust
way,
once
Commander.
again upwards. Yep, we are cruising super fast, although we need to
On the
keep
way,
them at
Commander.
range, because once they get a lock like they have now, that's not good. So we're just going to get behind the rock here. Our allies should be able to push around.
ahead,
We need to make sure we
Commander.
don't overextend onto them, because we have completely drawn their attention here.
Send your traffic.
Going to lock onto you and
Beginning
fire,
Attack.
and just go up.
Copy that. Moving.
So go up, please, and then down.
On the
Don't want
way,
you to
Commander.
slam to a rock. That would be bad. We are using our speed here, 30 meters a second, outpacing them ever so slightly, just peppering them with RPF rounds.
Gotcha.
We have the
5
range
by
advantage,
5.
and we are going to use it.
Dialing
Just
in.
splitting fire across them, trying to tax any system possible. All right,
On the
there we
way,
go.
Commander.
Yep. We're able to stop our flank maneuver here because we don't need to burn
Gotcha.
our
5
engines
by
too
5.
much. Yeah, we're chipping away at them, and our Corvette swarm, they have taken... Yeah, we completely pulled them away. They now realize that, oh shit, our flank is not the main priority threat. Here is all of the ships coming around the corner. Prepare to get beamed, buddy. You have been completely thrown off. Yeah, look, all of their ships here just pointed the wrong direction to handle this right now. They do not have their
Go
stuff
ahead,
at the ready.
Command.
Now is our cue
Aye,
to
aye.
get back up there
Full
again. Hit
power.
the thrusters. Let's go, baby. It is gun time. Yippee!
How can we help
Yeah,
today?
you can see them now trying to get into target range so that they can fire all this. All of the point defense firing off here. I think the battleship will take some hits. Yep, couple hits here and there, but most of those going off to the side. Very nice to see as all the point defense in the world screaming at these things. I don't know if they have a... Oh, that's so much jamming.
At the ready, Commander.
All right, yeah, so we're just going to get into range and fire at anything, because now the enemy has been
At the
pushed
ready,
back.
Commander.
We are able to target the big threats here with our HE rounds.
Understood.
Yeah, so they're going to fire, let's see, can I... Okay, yeah, they've got a bloodhound. Yep, there's the beam. Perfect. We're going to mark the no other way. I think that's one of the starter fleets. We're going to mark this target for
Aye, aye,
destruction.
Commander.
Just
We're moving.
kill it with every shot that we have in the arsenal.
way, Commander.
I'm just going to keep adjusting
Aye,
my
aye,
heading
Commander.
and
We're
stuff.
moving.
Actually, I don't need to adjust heading. I'm just going to adjust my positioning and just keep peppering them with every shot that I got. See them desperately trying to fire missiles now as our own torpedoes just cruising out. It is a bloodbath in the battle space. Whoa. And it's all the torpedoes in the world getting thrown at these bulk freighters here now. Yep, the, what's that, final orders? Yeah, it's issuing the final orders as this thing is going to get slammed. Look at all of those tracks just screaming off here. Torpedoes from every side. Oh my god, the fireworks. There goes the hybrid volley. A bunch of size 2s just screaming into this thing. We see size 2 missiles in return getting launched here. Just shout bloodshed. Just, wow, that is a lot of firepower. This is one of those games in Neb where just everything happens at once. It is wonderful. Yeah, the no other way. It is toasted, done, and dusted. Goodbye, good sir. Ugh, poor soul. Yeah, we drew their attention beautifully there because we were the only thing they saw. They swung their tugs around the wrong side, and then the beam battleship with all of its escorts just appear and just remove them. Woo! All right, we need to go and clean up. So they can clean up most of the tug fleet here since I believe the tug used all of their various torpedoes in that initial opening volley. And I don't think that many of our ships got taken out, if any. We probably suffered like a hit or two in there, although I can't see their damage. At least here. Okay, this one is missing its drive and stuff, so it took a hit or two. Yeah, there's some more of the attempted missile launches here. ARADs going after some of these. Yep, okay, so we do end up losing a Corvette, but they lost a bulk freighter for it, and I think that's the favorable trade in our regard. Let's take a look here. This ship here, this tug is still technically under command, but not for long. We're going to fire a mixture of HE rounds and RPF into it. Fire for effect. Pew, 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 pew.
Copy that. Moving.
Yeah, RPF just to trim all of its surface mount systems, and then the HE rounds just to finally put the nail in the coffin. Let's see these shots. Well, bop, 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 bop. Try and hear the alarm. Quiet, chat. You might be able to hear the alarm.
Ready, Commander.
Switch to AP briefly, and then tell them to switch back to HE.
Done, Commander.
That's the alarm. All right, it is killed. Ceasefire. You are good. Cease lock as well. All right, time to go hunting.
Aye, aye,
So there's still ships around the map, including this Ocello. I'm gonna call that one out. 7573 Ocello. So now we know there's other threats about the map. We see there's another Ocello down here. 2 Ocellos, actually. I'm going to mark those all as priority. This is generally something that most people will do, trying to mark the big ships as they are, you know, kind of a threat.
Aye, aye.
I'm going to lock onto this thing here. Oop. What are we firing at? Not sure what our gun's fired at there. We're going to switch to AP rounds and set our heading towards them. Trying to go for the sort of dive here. Technically, we're actually going for a flank from below as we had flipped the map over and use that to our advantage. Yeah, that was a very enjoyable ambush. Uh-oh. That is a problem. We need to kill that thing. There is a reactor jet going off. Ooh, that's not good for the fleet there. Yeah, all the armor, well, okay, all the, like, little bit of armor left that Corvette has. Corvettes have, like, 5 centimeters of armor, which is basically nothing, so, yeah.
At the ready,
We are going to fire on that cargo feeder here real quick, as it is a bit of a threat, and our 250 is reasonably effective at punching through the armored facings. I say reasonably effective because it's not the greatest usage of our 250s, but at the same time, I mean, hey, we can kill this thing off real quick, deny them the missile assets that they had, and then we'll go after that Ocello, which will take much longer for us to kill. Yeah, the Isle Self, just eating it here as we go pew 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 into it, keeping it in gun range. We don't want to get too close, but we also want to chase after that Ocello, so let's drop our altitude. That's a cargo feeder way down there. Okay, that's the Ocello. All right, let's not get too close to the Ocello after all then.
Acknowledged.
We'll just fire on this thing with what we got. Oop, there goes firing missiles. I was hoping I'd be able to take those out before I did that. Okay, we're already down here, and we're just going to commit to this gunfight, I think. We're pretty good at dodging. We'll just set to evade anyway, so it automatically jitters our headings and our position and stuff to get to that maneuverability. You see these shots here. A couple of them sliding in, managed to hit the berthings and radar panels and the gun plotting center way in the back, but nothing we can't fix, at least. Gonna turn off the flank, because I don't think we really need to go super fast right now. Yeah. The Isle Self here just getting completely peppered by our 250 rounds. AP flying straight and true. So yes, trying to dodge the Ocello, which is, I think, turning towards us. There's a fleet of cargo feeders down there we will have to deal with eventually. We're just going to slide up to this rock here to try and get ourselves into cover from it, since I don't want to pick a fight against 2 targets if I can avoid it. There we go.
How can we help today, Commander?
Isle feeder is having a bad day. Going to set our heading of our fleet towards the Ocello there. What's that? The Tommy W. Margot. Putting shots into the Isle Self. It shouldn't be long for this world, but at the same time, knocking out a cargo feeder is very annoying if their nose is facing you, because you have to carve through all of their various systems and then hit their reactor and drive and CIC, which is all very tightly grouped in the back. They're kind of like a light cruiser in that regard. The cargo feeder does have thicker armor than the light cruiser, but with the slanted facings of the front of the light cruiser like this, you get much more armor thickness, because again, sloped armor, best armor. Well, relatively speaking.
Aye, aye. Full
There's
power.
no heat rounds in the game that I know of that ignore armor facing, although that is a interesting concept to have.
Send your traffic.
One of our ships struggling to get into position here. We're going to adjust our formation ever so slightly to reflect the new rock that we're trying to sidle up
Joining
against.
formation.
There we are. Ba-ba-ba-ba. Adjusting heading once again, as well to take out that Ocello. I want this thing to pod. Come on, buddy, pod.
Got you 5
Because
by 5.
most importantly, you want to reduce
aye.
your enemy's
Full power.
assets, so that way you can win in the cap
We're a
game.
little banged up,
Or at least
Commander.
with our CLs, that's the goal. There's a bunch of cargo feeders down there that take forever to kill. Okay, is that pods? Those are life pods.
5
Cool,
by
it's
5.
dead. Excellent. Marked signal killed. Cool. Yippee! Now we can go after the Ocello.
Aye, aye, Commander.
All right.
We're moving.
We're going to slide out from cover here. We do want to like push around and eventually get to the E cap. So we'll start making our way over this
Copy that.
way,
Moving.
like so. That said, the Ocello there is going to be a bit problematic. We'll try and lock them, but I don't believe we have walking radars. No, front lines only.
Send your traffic.
This is a bit of a cheap fleet in that regard. Each of these voxels only coming in at 1,000 points,
Aye, aye.
so I had to make some sacrifices.
Moving out.
Tried to lock the wrong target there. Quick track
Copy
indeed.
that. Moving.
We have only a bullseye lock radar. Actually, do we have? No, we have a parallax as well. So yeah, one of our ships is able to lock. The other one's just relying mostly on their RPF. The point of this fleet is, again, to try and throw all of the RPF out that you can to take out the enemy's supporting assets, such as their tugs and shuttles.
Component's been lost.
So fighting against a big ship like an Ocello is not really on our to-do list. I believe it is bow tanking us, just given the dimensions of what I'm hitting here. Yeah, you can see it's kind of got the shape there of like the bow facing forwards, and there's like the center of the ship with its engines down here. So
Got you 5 by 5.
just gonna keep peppering it with whatever we got then. Just do a manual bit of jitter here. There we go.
Full power.
Evade making us fairly hard to hit. We are unfortunately taking a couple shots here and there. Cannon unfortunately down to 31%, although it still is fully operational. Let's see, yep. Boom, 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 boom. Bunch of AP shells landing straight and true, so we are doing some damage, although it's not enough to really put a huge tax on it. If I had 450 AP flying
Go
into
ahead,
this thing, then it would be going down much faster than it is currently. We need to adjust to be a little more straightforward there.
Aye, aye. Full power.
There we go. Want to keep ourselves moving at maximum pace, so that way we are the most jittery, annoying thing to possibly hit. Fortunately, we are, again, only using the side thrusters to maneuver here. Although we do have that radar, which gives us, like, I think it's 30% extra linear thrust, so we are able to jitter ourselves back and forth. Good acceleration, linear thrust equating to that. That said, we are still trying to make things happen with not our main thrusters. You see our main thrusters now firing off, giving us good acceleration. They have most of our power behind them. We are also burning flanks, so they are taking some damage. I'm actually going to turn off the flank thrusters there, since we don't get a huge buff just moving side to side like this. Flank increases your speed by 50%. That is your top speed. And it makes your main thrusters better at accelerating. I think it might also improve your braking thrusters in the nose a little bit, but don't quote me on that. I don't remember. I know it does the main thrusters acceleration, and it makes you go faster total, but I don't know if it actually improves your braking thrusters in the nose. So. That said, you can just see us slamming into this thing with a whole bunch of rounds. This is 3,000 points of firepower versus, I'm going to guess, about 1,500 points. So it's at least a 2-to-1 advantage in my favor. But with that said, this is a capital ship, and I'd much rather be shooting this with 450 than the 250 that I currently am. That being the caliber of projectile I'm using. We're going to cruise around the corner here in a second, so we'll just make like so.
Aye, aye, Commander.
There we go.
We're moving.
I'm going to adjust the
Go
fleet's
ahead,
formation so we don't do a dumb,
Getting
like so.
information.
There we go. That way it'll be sort of an L shape as we come around the corner. Pew, 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 pew. Yep. See all of our bullets flying into this thing now. It is looking like we've knocked out a bunch of the ammo elevators or even the turrets, since its shots are firing very slowly compared to before, and I'm not seeing too many of them. Yeah, that's 2 turret there. We've maybe knocked out a gun turret. It has 3 double-barreled gun turrets, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they're just trying to fire now. We still have, like, in our ships, let's see, 1, 2, 3, I think we have more ammo elevators. Yeah, we got 5 ammo elevators compared to their probably none right now, so that does give us a high rate of fire advantage.
On the way,
I'm going to dip my
Commander.
altitude a little bit to try and get towards that E point, so yeah, we're just going to go for the reckless play of driving towards E.
Moving out.
All right, full send. Hit the throttle, burn true. Yeah, just fire as we go against this thing. It is bow tanking, and so are we, but its guns are not as accurate because they are 450. 450 is... It's kind of like the trade-offs. Like, you get a lot more punch, but it's a lot less accurate because the various ballistic balancing in this game. And also because our ships have a working gun plotting center, and theirs do not. Ooh, I just saw something over there ping. What was that? The heck was that, actually?
Shots at us. How can we help today, Commander?
Who is bow taking? Where is Sylvia? Ah, okay. Ah, that's what they're fighting. Cargo feeders. Yeah, so that's probably got plasma in it, trying to strip off the armor, I think. Viva la ras. Viva la ras, I'm gonna call it, or Viva la rack. Raclet? Raclet, yeah. They've got the RCLT, so that's them. I guess say same as well, because, again, we are bow tanking. Bow tanking! Yippee! I could split off my CLs and, go for multiple flanks here, but at the same time, just pummeling through the nose of this thing seems to be working pretty good. Yeah.
Go ahead, Command.
Oh, wait, we got visual on it. I don't know why we got visual, but yeah, look at the Swiss cheese on the front of this thing. Just all the holes we punch into it. Yeah, you can see its gun turret's knocked out here, except for the belly one. Maybe the belly one is out, actually. Yeah, just completely hammering this thing. It's an interesting little pinup decal it's got on the side. Very classical. I'm a fan of the kind of like classic, like World War II era nose art for various aircraft. It's just, it adds a certain like bit of flavor to them, and I really like it. Like, I know everything nowadays is like all like this boring gray or greens or like the stealth paint, everything, but there's a certain style to it. It kind of reminiscent of like knight heraldry. I don't know, it's just something that appeals to me. It's like, that's why I like seeing like the various emblems, like my silly Catboy face on the side of the ship here, if we can get the light on it. Yeah, it's just fun little details there. Some size 2s there.
How can we help today, Commander?
Oh, they nicely said stop shooting, so we will. Also because their ship is dead. Going to adjust our heading there. So yeah, turns out you can just tear this thing apart. Our dive down, finally getting us these side shots we needed. I don't know how many 250 rounds I put into that thing, but just looking at the front of this ship, like I have seen a kitchen sponge with less holes in it than this thing.
Go ahead, Command.
I'm gonna adjust heading in case there's any surprises back here. The battleship making its way around as well. Looks like the tugs up here. Yeah, tugs are pretty chewed up, but we only have a couple of corvettes still left over, so we'll have to deal with them. We'll just dive into the point here, cap it, and then be on our merry way upwards, I think. So we're gonna pre-aim on them. We'll order the lock on this one, and then firing of HE RPF rounds, since we still have some in the banks. There we go. Bringing our nose about. We can stop evading, since we don't have to. There we are.
Moving.
All right, everybody on to the point. Let us go.
Aye, aye. Full power.
Firing broadside now, which is not ideal, but again, they don't have the ability to return fire yet, as they're pointed the complete wrong direction and about to eat a bunch of shots here. See one of them surrendering. I don't know which one that was, actually. I didn't get the tab up in time to see, but hey, if that's the enemy surrendering, that's good. If it's our ally surrendering, then oh well. I'm sure that we can still secure a victory with only 4 of 5 players. Not to discredit them or anything, but we have been doing a pretty good job this game. Again, a beautiful ambush that we managed to pull off there. All of the tugs' attention being drawn towards us, the bulk freighters as well, and then just the mass flank overload of the beam destroyer. Not beam destroyer. I was trying to think Star Destroyer there. Yeah, the beam battleship combined with like 7 torpedo sprinters. Just a complete overwhelming of firepower. Very good to see. This thing's engine's getting knocked out. I'm gonna switch over to firing HE rounds. Pop your alarms. I want to say it's dead, but I can't see with all the smoke. We're just gonna fire in the high explosives to really finish it off. Listening for that alarm. There it is. All right, ceasefire. Target destroyed. Yep, somebody else got the lock as well. We're going to fire high explosives on them since they are not moving.
On the way, Commander.
All right, Leviathan is out, so that's one of our players, actually. Okay, we are still in this game, as it would turn out. There's a Cellos down there, but I think that we have better things to do than fight a Cellos. They can get the cap. I'm going to ask them... ask if they can get that.
Send your traffic.
Because I'm pretty sure that I can clean up most things in the battle space here as long as I am facing the right direction. See, these tugs, not the hugest threat, but still a problem we'll have to deal with. I'm going to burn flank towards that point. Actually, since, yeah, they're just going outside around the rock. All right, that'll be a problem for us later. There's that cargo feeder swarm we have to deal with. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go up here, but we're going to face towards the C point.
Aye, aye.
We might get shot in the flank by those cargo feeders hanging out near it, because like the enemy is controlling the effective top of the map. They're trying to consolidate their forces. The 5 cargo feeders with plasma, I just saw the purple blast out of it, and then the pair of Acellos, and that, I think that's the cargo feeder we killed our cargo feeder we shot at earlier. We just need to find theirs and then find a way to hit them, preferably where it hurts. All right,
Moving out.
we can see that cargo feeder. We still have some AP rounds left,
done,
but we
Commander.
probably used up more than we should have
Roger
against that Acello.
On the way,
right.
Commander.
Either way, we're going to come around the bank here, get ourselves locked on target, swap from flank speed down to regular, fire off the first couple of rounds. They will know they're in trouble any second now. As soon as we get a lock, there we go. Lock is acquired. Fire, fire, fire. Pew, 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 pew. Actually, since you are in range, I'm going to try firing HE shells against this. See if we can't get something done with that.
Full power.
Oh, there's a reactor bloom from up above. Always good to see.
Aye, aye.
Damn, I was hoping it was one of those tugs. Still, we have some corvettes that are able to do like a little harassing, and until they come back to the point, which we can play Coast Guard to, we should be good. Just need to secure our back cap and that. Firing high explosive on this, although we are hitting the bow by the looks of it. Still, actually, we're getting some... Ooh, this thing is going broadside. Yeah, you can see the outline of it, like the front of the ship and the aft being there, so we're getting some nice flank shots. They are right there. Okay, we're gonna do a bold play and cut across like this.
Aye, aye, Commander. We're moving.
Okay, where is my formation set to? Okay, you are gonna actually go like this. I can like slide up against the rock, and then you, the Crim, are gonna go like this, 300-meter intervals and such. Move upwards and overwards. There we are. That way we stay close to the rock, but are still able to fire. Oh, we do lose target for a second. Let's select target and fire AP rounds. Nice. I don't think that they're... Yeah, they're trying to get to the D point, so we're gonna just play close guard against that. Fire! So yeah, this ship has some missile launchers on it, so we have to be wary of that, but we should be able to pummel through most of these systems. Ooh, there's the beam! Perfect timing from the Hanged Man. Yeah, lovely cook into the reactors. This thing is immobilized. We're just gonna pound the crap out of it. Come on, give me those alarm bells. Clang, 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 clang. This is the benefit of running the cheaper CLs that I've got, which is that I can fit 5 ammo elevators into them, and that is a lot of firepower. Decided we are going to try and keep it so the Acello pair can't see us. I believe the Hanged Man will be pushing for... Yeah, they're trying to get the monitor swarm there, but unfortunately they just don't have the ability to look at it right now because all their radar panels are knocked out. Are you dead yet? Yes, they are. Cool. Save fire. Or save ammo. Hold fire. That's what we're trying to say. All right, Hanged Man is got to do its thing. Gonna lock onto the Acellos that are down here. I think it was the
Go ahead,
Zap and the Goose. I'm not sure which one we were shooting at, but there we go. Target is down. All right.
Full power.
New target painted. Engage. Fire for effect. I think they have 2 or 3 Acellos down there. Either way, we're gonna throw some love into them. Oop, a bunch of our shots going wide there, as unfortunately we didn't have the quality lock we wanted. And then that one fires through. Excellent. Ting, ting, ting. So yeah.
They're zeroing in.
See, you're trying to position yourself to fire... Oh, you're bow tanking a bunch of their plasma, which is good. Let's see if their beams are able to get onto the targets here or not. We have to play close guard here. There's a tug on the A point, but it is not under command. That's good. Okay, so, yeah, I think the torpedoes from this ship managed to secure the A point, so we are keeping the cap lead. We just have to make sure we don't do anything too stupid here. We can be a little stupid and silly, chat, but we don't want to be too far gone. Oh, beams firing. Whee! There goes the beams. Yep. Peter is dead. Beam the Acellos. Just gonna give him a little bit of helpful advice here. Not trying to backseat or anything, but I mean, hey, we've got targets to burn. Lock onto you and cook them. Keep our momentum going here as much as we can. You can just adjust yourself to like here-ish. That works. Yep. That way we won't collide with any rocks, I hope. Need to adjust my heading again because I'm planning on getting over them a little bit. So we won't be able to get the C point, but we won't need the C point. We're just going to move backwards over here towards the B point, and then that's going to be our goal. Yippee! And move here, and then like just cut up like a line there.
Copy that.
Because that way we can RPF that tugboat down, and then our CL will be able to cap it.
Send your traffic.
All right. Ooh, is that thing launching? That thing is launching pods. It's dead. Yippee! All right. Lock onto the Goose. Change target.
Got you. 5 by 5.
Fire. The goose is returning fire.
At the
Don't
ready,
fuck with
Commander.
geese, by the way. They are very angry Koba chickens. Okay, we
Gotcha.
have new
5 by
target. We
5.
have locked on to you. Fire HE RPF.
Understood.
Rotate all guns. I do like CLs when you're able to play them like this. I'm a fan of the 3 CL
Gotcha.
fleet.
5 by 5.
I think technically the 2 CL fleet is a little bit better, and that you get jamming with it and a couple other toys, but it's just really fun having 3 light cruisers like this, just able to look around the battlefield and kind of punch down Wolfpack style.
We are securing zone box.
Putting RPF rounds into this thing, try to cook off all the surface mounts, and then we'll do HE to really round out.
At the ready,
I'll have the
Commander.
command ship fire HE to
It'll
get
be
those
done.
kill shots. Yeah, it's not powered anymore. Just fire everyone on HE. They have to... Never mind. It is a dead ship. All right, back to firing on the goose. AP rounds,
It'll be
load
done,
and fire.
Commander.
There we go. Target is killed. We can stop
way,
our flank
Commander.
thrusters since we won't need to burn ourselves too much. I think I saw it get beamed just now. Yeah, beam turrets look like they're locked on. The beam battleship, the mighty beast that it is, it's taken so much fire. All that plasma cooking off the nose. The cargo feed is not able to get a good shot on it, though, so we're just going to take out... Ooh, what was that? It was one of the corvettes over here, the Value of Nice, I
At the
think.
ready,
Or
Commander.
nice? Nisse? Something.
Copy
Ooh,
that.
we got a broadside shot, and we're almost out of
Beginning
AP
the
rounds
attack.
anyways. Yeah, beams and a whole bunch of 258 HE is not where you want your Acelo to be. Still, surprisingly close game, given that we had that huge lead early on, just given to us by a really good flank overload. You've seen that plasma now, yeah, just trying to tear into any ship that it can see. Looks like it's going after... What was that shooting at? Oh, it's trying to hit the battleship. That's why. It's just firing really wide.
Gotcha.
Okay.
5 by 5.
We don't actually have many of the resources we need to fight a swarm
aye.
of cargo
Full
feeders
power.
right now, so we simply won't. We'll just try and rely on killing everything else in the battle space. This thing is heavily disabled. I don't know if we actually have the ability to kill this thing or not. If it has a Citadel CIC and a reinforced drive, I don't think 250 can actually kill it. That said, we can keep it combat killed and just kind of hang it out here until it cooks off. Plus, every time we fire a shot and it lands, there's a chance that we get a reactor critical that they won't be able to deal with. So, hey,
At
we're
the
just going to
ready.
keep firing. Let's double
On the
back
way,
our course
Commander.
again. B point looking secured. A point looking secured. We have done our job kind of like just cruising around the battle space. Gotta call that out. That should be it. Sylv, that's all you.
Send your traffic.
Yep. Our missile player with their little tug.
Got you. 5 by 5.
I keep calling it a tug. Tug when it's Corvette. Corvette when it's a tug. I can't keep naming conventions.
The enemy is
Aye, aye.
Yeah, we're just gonna pepper this thing. Oop, it is
At the
dead,
ready,
dead.
Commander.
See that? It's been killed. Order ceasefire. All right. Now we just need to try and hold
Aye, aye,
the
Commander.
game. The E point down there is being back kept. Those tugs up there went around. Still, as long as we hold the cap here, we should be good.
At the ready.
On the
Commander.
off chance that it does get got here, we're going to move over
Aye,
and
aye,
counter that.
Commander. We're moving.
Yep. Engage full flank. Let's go. We have new target.
Copy that. Moving.
Going to set our heading
Aye,
ahead
aye,
of time, so
Commander.
that way we can just quickly zoom that direction. And yeah, should be good. She'll be all right. Hang out with the Australians too much.
We're securing zone
Or maybe not enough. They're a
Aye,
fun
aye.
bunch.
Full power.
Kiwis too. How would I say like Australia and New Zealand have like a Canada-America relationship where it's like they're neighbors, but like they're different. You don't want to confuse the two of them.
The enemy secured
Yeah,
zone
all these cargo feeders down here. If you
Gotcha.
take a look at our
5 by
ammo
5.
count, we have 135 AP shells. We just don't want to pick a fight with all of this armor here because like we need so much armor to knock them down. Oh, I've summoned the New Zealanders. Yeah, I'm just comparing New Zealand and Australia, kind of like the way you compare like Canada and America, where they're just like neighbors.
At the ready.
Anyways,
Commander.
this tug is
Zeroing
technically under command here. We are holding the A point. I don't think... No, its gun is working. Okay.
At the ready, Commander.
Yeah, New Zealand is not Aussie. Yeah, and neither is Canada. I said it's just like the relationship between the two of them. We're like
Today,
one...
Commander.
Oh, uh-oh.
Force
Yeah, that
load
ship is just going to fly into a wall. Very cool.
At the ready, Commander.
Yeah, it's just like saying the New Zealand, Australia. It's like they're next door neighbors. They're just hanging out, doing their thing. Why, do you think America and Canada are the same place? Silly. All right, that'll be GG here as we just need like 1 or 2 more ticks to win. Get into C point here. But yeah, that was a brutal fight.
Send your traffic.
All right. So, yeah.
We have
Luckily,
secured Zone
our
Comet.
back capper's holding here. Yep.
Send your traffic.
I am very happy with how that game went. That's probably going to be the last one we'll do for today's stream, as I like to keep these Wednesday streams pretty short and then raid into my friend Vivi, who also plays Neb. So I'm going to see if she is live or not. Might get some feedback audio here. Let's see. Beep, 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 beep. She is live. Okay, so I think that's where we're going to wrap it up for today, chat. Let's see. Just taking a look at our... Ooh, hot damn. Look at that. Yeah, it's like 18k damage just unloading all the fire here, taking very little in return. Pretty happy with how that worked out. All the torp ships just fighting it. The beam destroyer, it tanked all the damage it needed to. It got, in the end, what we needed to have happen. See, yep. That was very interesting as far as fights go. Not much damage on the plasma monitors, but they did strip off a lot of the battleship's armor, weakening it a lot. Yeah. Oh, these poor bulk freighters, they just got completely rolled on there. The Sullivan, just with the torpedo corvettes there, was a really good play, because I managed to get all their attention, because, I mean, hey, it's three CLs. That's 3,000 points, at least, that you've got thrown at you. You've got to look at that, and they did. And then suddenly just a massive overload of jamming torpedoes and battleship comes around the corner. Yeah, that was brutal. Big raider only. 8km gaming. Yeah, had a lot of fun with that game. Yeah. Just dodgeless. Anyways. Alright, chat. Now, to my point, finished off there. Yeah, you see the Tommy, we just managed to knock it out at the very end of the game. Probably has a magazine and like the big drive left, but that was a brutal match. Yes, we did win. Thank you for checking, Crystal. Anyways, that's going to be all of my Neb games today. We're going to raid into my friend Vivi, who is also streaming Nebulous, and then I'll probably hop in for a game with her, so we can probably see some more of the Nebulous gaming that I had going here. So yeah, I don't really have a raid message that I usually go with. I guess show up, say meowdy and all that. Yeah, I don't really have much closing to say either. I stream on Twitch. You can follow my channel if you want to see more content like this. I stream Neb every week or so. Usually every Wednesday. Sometimes I sprinkle in like a secondary stream on Saturday or Friday if I get the chance to. Neb's a fun game. Yeah. I don't really have much else to say. Follow my Twitch. My Twitter has my schedule on it. That's pretty much all you really need to know. I should upload more stuff to YouTube because like I've got my huge VOD backlog. Yeah, anyways, we're gonna go raid Vivi. Say meowdy to her. Bye!